And we are live. What is up, everyone? Welcome on in. Happy Friday. Yes, surprise Friday stream. And yes, I'm back at this side of the screen. Woo! Alright. Yeah. How is everyone? So yeah, surprise Friday stream. There's a Maximus Cup in Tetris 99. So we'll do a couple of rounds of this one so that we'll get the background. Then we go back to Ace Attorney. So hopefully, with that plan in place, we'll be able to finish the second case tonight. But of course, considering the game, I don't know how long that case will be. There might be like 8 more investigation scenes and I may be tired and we'll get some other time. Alright, yeah, we'll have nothing much to say, but yeah, let's go. Maximus Cup. Yeah, classic Tetris theme. Let's go. Question is, do I still remember how to play Tetris 99? And also, considering a lot of like flashes will be happening on screen, rip bitrate later on. Okay, that was a quick match. What? Why is this not the classic like Tetris music? Why is this not tan 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 God, why am I being attacked? Fudge. Damn. Wrong move, wrong move. Shit. I need that for safety question mark. I should have seen that coming. Okay, it's now like, isn't this Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy or something? Okay, I have a feeling when we get to top 10, that's when the classic Tetris theme will come. So we have to make it to top 10. Oh, am I being attacked now? Oh, screw you. Well, shit. I should have switched to the eyepiece. At least that's 30 points. Yo, Piper, what's up? Welcome on in. Thank you for the GL. How are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, it's time to like use that. Not doing too bad? Yeah, I'm doing good as well, thanks. Not too bad for a Friday. Just doing the Maximus Cup to get the background, and then we'll go back to Ace Attorney after this. Why did I switch? Wrong move, wrong. Ah, shit. Of course, like that comes in. You have a strat for targeting? No, I'm just doing it at random. Because usually when I target attackers, I get sent garbage pieces a lot. So I'm just fun. I'm just leaving it at random. Especially this early in the game. Like, it's super luck based because sometimes when even I'm not targeting, like in the first few turns, like you get all the garbage pieces. So I'm not like risking it this early. He almost always gets top 10 and has all these strats, it's wild. Fudge. Yeah. I mean, I can't even do a decent T-spin, so... Like, that's not a T-spin, but... I inserted that T-piece there. My strat is like simply the strat I did when playing this when I was a kid. Just build everything and wait for the big IPs and then 4 lines. But yeah, there are some people who are really like good at this game. Like what you said, they have strats. And like some people actually like set up T-spin so they get big bonuses. Which I cannot do. Of course, it's not gonna send like... Stakes were made! Stakes were made! I want to make top 10 so I can know what the theme is. I really have a feeling when you get top 10, it's gonna be the classic Tetris theme. Or maybe Kalinka. Wait, was Kalinka in the NES version? I know it was in the Game Boy version. Stakes are made. More mistakes were made. Yeah, I panicked. That was the wrong move. Okay, please stop it this time. Yeah, at least we're 30 points to the background. So tomorrow, just says it can help motivate yourself. LOL. LOL, Aniv. I missed. Excuse me, controller. Oh, this is just crap in this round. Ugh. I actually should have made that flat. No, why are there a lot? This is 15 points. 10 points, okay. Yeah, I think if I get past top 50, this is 30, so maybe, I don't know. Okay, let's try attackers this time. No. Oh god, I have to like get rid of this thing on the right. Damn. Sorry. Hey, at least that clears a lot. Wrong move. Of course, why do they have back-to-back like L? Oh my god, why are you not like in the top 10 yet? Well, I'm gonna die, but whatevs. It's a good run. Oh, it's not. Oh shit. Okay, at least we got top 10. I'm sad that it isn't the classic Tetris theme. Oh, that was 40 points. Thank you for the GGs. Yun lang, special theme. Okay, let's load that theme. I think I've got all the themes so far, right? Yeah, I didn't miss on anything. Well, except for these, like, things. Yeah, this was the first. I didn't have this, but I unlocked it when they were, like, doing remixes. Hey, no worries. Thanks for the alert, Piper. Paper Mario, All-Stars, Kirby, 3D World, Utopia Mario Golf, Skyward Sword, Wario, forgot what this was, Metroid, Mario Party, forgot what this was, Kirby, more Kirby, Pikmin, I think this is Zelda, no, Fire Emblem, RPG, Wario, Wonder, PP, this Ocean something, F-Zero, Splatoon, then Tetris. Alright, that would be it for Tetris 99. We'll now switch to Ace Attorney. So, I'll load the game and just update my stream stuff. So, let's do this. And I have to move on this side. Okay, shoot. Can I edit the stream titles in YouTube? I think I can. Alright, yup, the stream titles are edited, but I think I'm now... Excuse me, I now have audio desync. Just... do this. Alright, we continue Ace Attorney investigation. So, recap, we are in the second case. I think we are in the middle of the case. And, yeah. Let's continue this. So middle, investigating the holding cell. Alright. Alright. Okay, what do we do? Keep up the good work, officer. Sir! Yep, there's absolutely no need to keep an eye on us. Because we're two great thieves of justice. You're what now? You really needn't. Plural. Needn't. I didn't know that needn't is a word. Pluralized thieves on my account, K. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Okay, newspaper. Hey look, this newspaper's got a chunk of it missing. You're right, a few of its pages have been roughly torn out. Yo, Coburn, what's up? Did we win at Tetris? Yeah, we got the background. So, I didn't win, but I made top 10. So, I've heard all the music themes. But yeah, we got 100 points and we got the background. That's basically what I do during the Maximus Cups. I just play to get 100 points to get the background. And try to play as much as possible just to hear all the themes in the game. Maybe Mr. Knight wanted to clean his cell but didn't have a cleaning cloth. It's not a totally implausible theory, I suppose, but to tried to clean their cell. This bed doesn't look very comfortable, but that pillow cover is very clean, spotless in fact. I bet this is the kind of bed Gummy sleeps in. I can just picture it, can't you? No, I sense he's more of a mattress on the floor type. There's nothing wrong with that. This must be Knight's suit jacket. So I've been doing some research of my own. Oh? And what have you discovered? I've discovered that guys who look good in suits tend to be popular with the ladies. But don't worry, guys with frilly neck ruffles are next on my research list. Please stop. Is that it? Is there anything under the floor? There's something different about this spot here. This part of the floor is weirdly clean. Did somebody wipe it down or something? Why would somebody only do the part right next to the bed though? A standard barred window, no signs of it having been tampered with. I don't think there's any chance for a killer escape through here. Aha! Must remember to bring something to saw through iron bars with. As they sail, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Glad I got the chance to scope this place out. Okay, we're investigating a crime scene, not preparing for your eventual escape. The bowl is nice and spotless, and there are no signs that the toilet paper has been used. Everything seems to be in order with this toilet here. What? Are you serious? Why? What's wrong? There's no door. There's not even a curtain. Whoever designed this place should have thought a little more about the people who have to live here. I think there might be a reason behind the open plan layout. Is there a bidet though? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Ooh, what's a menu doing here, Mr. Edgeworth? It seems that those held in the detention center are able to choose what they'd like to eat each day. If they can afford it, that is. Money makes the world go round, I guess. But that doesn't make life super easy for rich detainees. Well, okay, bear in mind that the people held in these cells haven't been found guilty yet. Some of them don't deserve to be punished. Quite a few of them, in fact. So you're saying it's fine that people with money don't have as hard a time of it as everyone else? Ugh. How did I wind up defending the practices of the detention system? Okay, why is there a chess plan here? Look at this weird piece of paper. There's some sort of grid on it. Let's take a closer look. The grid appears to be a chess diagram, the victims, I suppose. What's a chess diagram? A visual representation of a game of chess. See how the locations of all the pieces are marked? This seems to be a closely fought contest, but perhaps if this pawn were... No, wait. Not now, Mr. Edgeworth. This is no time to be playing games. Yes, I suppose you're right. This isn't the first time I've seen this configuration of pieces. It was from a different perspective, but it was definitely the same game. Was this the chessboard from Blind Monk guy? Yep, I think this is it, right? So pawn, 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 bishop, rook. No, that's knight, alright. It's this. Eureka! This chess game, I've seen it before. Enough with the chess chat, Mr. Edgeworth. We're supposed to be investigating here. Focus. I am investigating. This particular bit of chess chat could prove to be vital. Now, take a look at this. Can you tell me what it is? It's the chess set we saw in Mr. Canis' cell. But I don't really know the rules of chess, so... Same. The rules of the game are not important here. What is important are the positions of the pieces. Compare the ones in Mr. Canis' cell with these. Do you notice anything? Ah! I don't know which piece is which or anything, but if you turn the diagram like this, there are pieces in the same squares. Indeed, there's no dog on the diagram, but that's to be expected. Apart from that, however, the possessions of the pieces are identical. And what does that tell us? He was playing with Knight. As unlikely as it may seem, Mr. Canis' chess opponent was Mr. Knight. This could be just the proof that we need to show that Mr. Canis had a connection to the victim. Wow, that's a lot of books. Let's take a look. You'll Laugh Tomorrow, an anthology. Understanding Animal Emotions. Life as a Pet Stylist. Maybe there was more to Mr. Knight than met the eye. Sadly, I don't think these were his. They were likely specially selected and placed here for the baboons, with the hope that they would want to better themselves during their time here. Second Chance at Life. Interviews with a former prisoner. These books appear to have been written by current model prisoners and former inmates. Ooh, I like the look of this one. 200 Days to Freedom, an escape story. And this one too, Making Money While Serving Time. This facility may have more deeply rooted problems than I thought. Reflected in the mirror is a security camera. A great thief's greatest enemy. Nothing about this place is very thief-friendly, if I'm being honest. I think that might be entirely deliberate, okay? Guard! I'd like you to retrieve the footage from the security camera and review it as carefully as you can. If you see anything out of the ordinary, inform me immediately. Yes, sir. So, can we deduce anything? Torn newspaper wiped floor. Okay, I think he used the newspaper to wipe the floor, right? Right? This part of the floor has been wiped clean. Maybe he spilled some grape juice. Grape juice. Who knows, but we can certainly imagine what he used to do the wiping. The torn out pages of that newspaper. Why wouldn't he just ask a guard for a cloth or something, though? Perhaps he didn't want anyone to see what he was wiping up. White floor data jotted down in my organizer. Investigation complete. I think we've about exhausted this cell. We've made significant progress by establishing a connection between Mr. Canis and the victim. This is bad, sir. Is that the guard? The security camera footage, sir. I watched it and... What is it? Can you show it to us? Yes, sir. I have a small playback monitor with me. Then what are you waiting for? Let's see it. Was that black thing? It's that dog, right? Until now, our assumption was that the crime had taken place inside the prison proper. But it seems that assumption may have been wrong. Knight had actually been attacked in this location. Take that! Right here in the detention center. And the perpetrator was indeed Mr. Canis' dog. This is just the evidence we need. Security camera footage jotted down in my organizer. Sorry, just give me a sec. And if this is where Knight was actually murdered, then one of the pieces of evidence we found here in his cell takes on a whole new meaning. If Knight's cell was the crime scene, which piece of evidence takes on a new significance? What does... If Knight's cell was the crime scene, which piece of evidence takes on? It's definitely not that, right? Could it be the floor?
Take that!
The floor of Knight's cell was wiped clean, presumably to remove something. Could that something have been his blood? Thank you, officer. Would you mind me doing me one more favor? Name it, sir. There's a detective by the name of Gumshoe somewhere in his facility. I need you to give him a message. Tell him to have the cell tested for traces of blood and to report the results to Edgeworth. You got it, sir. Report it to me. Now we can really go after that Canis guy, right, Mr. Edgeworth? No, not yet. We still don't know how Knight and the dog moved between his cell and the prison proper. Right, so that's what we need to figure out next. What's the play, coach? Where are we off to? I suspect one of the guards might know something. We should ask those posted nearby and see what they have to tell us. March 28, 215 Detention Center, Corridor. Okay, time to get asking, huh? It's Shilong Lang! Thanks for the tour. Later. Well, well, Mr. Prosecutor and his little friend. I didn't expect to run into you here. Must be my lucky day. This is Agent Shilong Lang of Interpol. He was in charge of a case I worked on 2 weeks back. I thought he had gone home to Zengfa after that, but here he is. You had some business to take care of, I take it, Agent Lang? You could say that. Nothing that need concern you, though. Hehe, first a black hound, now a wolf all in black. Hey wait, why are you all alone today? Wasn't Sheena, like, arrested? That's true. He's usually accompanied by an army of police officers. I hear you were at it again a couple days back, sticking your nose into these things. Couple days back? He means the incident with the president of Zengfa. Actually, I had thought you might be there as well, heading up the security detail. Ha! Our president doesn't have much faith in the efficacy of his own country's police force. Maybe now he'll think twice before using contractors again. Amateurs. Agent Lang doesn't have much faith in prosecutors or the courts to do their job right. Which is why he's so meticulous about investigating with his hand-picked cream of the crop officers. Indeed, no doubt things would have turned out differently had you and your men had been in charge. My men, huh? Yeah, those guys aren't around anymore. What? They're not? It's funny, isn't it? I'm a real lone wolf now. Ha ha ha! What are you saying, Agent Lang? What on earth happened? I told you, it doesn't concern you. See you around, Mr. Prosecutor. Wow, he seemed not okay. Yes, and I would very much like to know why, but there's nothing we can do about it right now. We'll worry about Agent Lang later. We have an investigation to conduct. Alright, let's start by talking to these guards. It's the door to the observation room. Observation, you mean? Are they always watching us? Or maybe they're just watching you and laughing at all the weird stuff you do. Weird stuff? I'm a perfectly normal person who does only perfectly normal things, I'll have you know. There's an assortment of trophies in here. Just once, I want to give someone a trophy. And what sort of award would a great thief hand out? Greatest rope escape, of course. Oh, but if I enter the contest, I guess it would just turn into me handing the trophy to myself. I'd worry more about finding a venue willing to host such an event. Looks like there are offices down this way. No entry though, according to the sign. Don't they know that telling people not to do stuff just makes them want to do it more? It's human nature. I would argue that it's the ability to resist such urges that makes us human. Alright. Officer. I was wondering, have you seen an enormous black dog wandering around here recently? That thing? No way. If I had, I'd... Well, let's just say I'd be a lot more nervous about standing guard here. So, do you and this dog have some kind of history or something? Now, Kay. You should know when to let sleeping dogs lie. By the sound of it... Sorry. By the sound of it, Canis' dog hasn't been spotted on this side of those heavy security doors. Oh man, I'm in so much trouble. What's the matter? You seem perturbed. Oh, well, you see, one of my uniforms is missing. I could have sworn it was right here in my locker. Did it grow a pair of legs and run off somewhere? Where in the world did that idea spring from? Anyway, I hope you track it down soon. I'll be rooting for you. Thanks, I appreciate it. Okay, this is now a piece of evidence, which means probably someone wore this as a disguise to get around the facility. Hey, are those my faithful assistants I see before me? Fender, and where exactly have you been? Where have I been? I've been looking for you two. Been searching high and low. Wandering lonelily. Wandering lonelily through the prison halls. It was terrible, I tell you. But the prison's over there on the other side of the facility, boss. So listen, I just got the lowdown on some seriously dynamite material. You wanna hear it? Right? Seamless? I was chatting with a few of the guards and they told me something très intéressant. Turns out the Bronxer had himself a little incident 2 days ago. Pre-mortem, if you catch my drift. An incident? Simeon told me that he came to visit his pal, right? Well, it happened right after they'd wrapped up, when Bronco was being escorted back to his cell. There's just one guard and he was handcuffed, obvs. They made it back and the guard was taking off his cuffs when the Bronxer clobbered him, knocked the poor guy out cold. Sounds like it might have been the prelude to a jailbreak, because when the other guards showed up, they couldn't find their comrade's keys. Were there any rumblings about Knight attempting an escape? That's the bit that fries the old noggin. There were none. He just sat in his cell and turned up dead. What's more, he swore right to the end that he'd never stole the keys. They turned his cell inside out too, but no dice. The guard who was struck, what did he have to say? Nothing. Poor guy was still out when they took him to the hospital. Word is, he's still there. So there's nobody around to tell us what really happened. Hey, Mr. Knight Selkie, guard was attacked and his keys, including the one to Knight's cell, were stolen. They have yet to be recovered. What the? It's you losers. That's all we need. The best and Gavel. Why are you still hanging around here like a bad smell? Hey there, little buddy. Listen, Miles here is working with me now as an associate. Nonsense. You're all just here to cause trouble and turn my investigation into a fart. Wow, such choice of words. Eustace means farce, of course. A simple slip of the tongue. Seems like a reasonably apt choice of words to me. Judge Gavelle, great to see you again. I am Gavale. I think it's Gavale because of the accent of the E, right? Or Gavelle. Anyway, I know who you are. You're Simeon Saint's attorney. Guilty as charged. Now that we've broken the ice, how about a friendly... Wham! Or not. I'm totally cool either way. Now, did I hear you correctly? That Mr. Edgeworth has joined the defense team? Yep, and me too. We're officially employees of Edgeworth & Co. But a prosecutor is a public servant. You would draw your sword on the goddess to work for personal gain. It's not a problem if I'm not getting paid though, correct? Exactly, what he said. Malseer's just a volunteer. We're all about the pro bono stuff over at Edgeworth & Co. How wonderful. So you all work without reward? The goddess would surely approve. Yeah. I'm a regular philanthropist. Judge Gavelle, I was hoping to ask about the grounds for Simeon Saint's arrest. Is that the challenge I hear? No, I was just asking Judge Gavelle. I'm always ready for a little verbal combat to show you what it takes to be a real winner. Why is like his theme so goofy? How's it verbal combat if you won't let me speak? Still, this could prove useful. Fine, we'll do as you suggest. Now if you could begin by telling us why Mr. Saint was arrested. There will be no need for that, Eustace. Ha ha ha. Not now, Gavelle. Watch and wonder. As I put this pathetic prosecutor in his place, he's going to run rings around me. I think you meant to say that you would be the one running rings around me. And I will, so badly that your ears will be ringing. Prepare to be humbled, Edgeworth. Nine chess? Okay, testimony. Reason for arrest. You want to know why I arrested that man? It's simple, I found evidence. Evidence of him all over that thing. How's that for some winningly inconvertible conclusive proof? And who saw the truth first? Why, me, of course. Winner by name, winner by nature. Where do I even begin? Look at you, utterly lost for words in the face of such mastery. I'll take your silence as yet another win. Honestly, does he ever shut up? You said you were the one who arrested Mr. Saint, but do you even have the authority to do so, Mr. Winner? Well, obviously, it was the police who actually arrested him. But I told him to do it, so I think I can claim the credit, don't you? Of course, that's what he meant. This is clearly going to take a while. A shame, really. Given that I'm much more interested in what Gavelle is silently thinking over there. You want to know why I arrested that man?
Hold it!
I'm just checking, but you do know who it was you arrested, correct? Is this some kind of joke? Of course I know who I arrested. It was Simeon Saint. Good to know he remembers that much at least. I had rock... Oh, okay, this first statement suddenly changed. I had rock solid grounds for arresting Simeon Saint for straight reasons. Yo, Megamar, what's up? How are you doing? Good to see you. Happy Friday. GL with the game? Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Rock solid, you say? I'm impressed. Hold on, I know what you're doing here. You're trying to butter me up. Well, it might work on the chumps you met in court, but it won't work on me. The evidence we found is certainly damning for Mr. Saint. Perhaps you should tell Mr. Edgeworth about it, Eustace. Damning is right, and it was on the strength of that evidence that I decided to arrest him. It's simple, I found evidence.
Hold it!
Evidence of him was all over that thing. Could you be a little bit more specific, Mr. Winner? Do I really have to spell it out for you, Edgeworth? I hoped even you could put two and two together. Stop messing around. The onus is on you to provide a comprehensible testimony. Come now, Eustace. I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth and his friends would be very interested to learn how you cracked the case. They certainly look keen to hear about it. Fine, if you insist, I'll fill in the gaps. Brace yourselves, because this is going to blow your tiny little minds. I bet you didn't even know, but the victim had, wait for it, a chess set with him. And that chess set was covered in the fingerprints of a certain Mr. Simeon Saint. Praise be to the goddess of justice for the insight she offers, and congratulations once again, Eustace. You would not object to Eustace amending his testimony, I trust, Mr. Edgeworth. No, by all means, please do. Mr. Saint's fingerprints were right there all over the victim's chess set.
Hold it!
But you weren't the one who actually found his prints, were you? Of course not. I'm a prosecutor. I'll leave the dirty work to forensics. No home internet again? Ouch! Watching via mobile. Well, that sucks. By any chance, are you on Sky? Are you on Sky? I should take another look at the evidence. How's that for some winning in conclusive proof?
Hold it!
The only incontrovertible fact here is that you don't know how to give a proper testimony. Surprisingly not Sky, currently Globe. Ow. I'm on Globe right now and it's fine. Okay, I don't want to jinx it, so I will shut up. What are you talking about? It's not my fault if you can't keep up. Perhaps I could be so bold as to offer some additional details. The only fingerprints around the scene belong to the guards, the prisoners, and the victim. The victim and Mr. Saint. I think you'll agree that Mr. Saints were the only prints that had no business being there. Yes, exactly. Now do you get it, Mr. Edgeworth? I do, but I'm not so sure about you. There were other prints belonging to the victim and the guard, so only Mr.
Hold it!
Okay, it looks like for this testimony, he's changing his statements every time we press. Alright, if there were other prints at the crime scene, shouldn't these people be suspects too? Other people? I don't think so. And why not? Had Mr. Saint's prints not been found in the chess set, those others would indeed have been suspects. Yet somehow, his prints were there despite the fact that they had no business being there. Okay, I think we have evidence that for this was brought to him at the request of Saint, by Saint. So Knight requested this chess set to be brought to him by Saint. So I think this is what we present later on. He's neither a prisoner nor a guard, therefore he should not have been able to enter the prison. Finding his prints in a place he shouldn't have had access to is grounds enough for an arrest, no? Yes, what she said. Not bad, Gavel. You are too kind. And who saw the truth first? Why, me, of course.
Hold it!
You saw it first, and I suppose you can prove that? I made the connection the moment I saw the crime scene. It was a lightning-fast deductive leap. What more evidence do you need? Well, you haven't given me any evidence at all so far, so... You still don't get it, do you? Well, don't worry. We can't be all born winners. Not sure I even want to get whatever it is he's talking about. Winner's education awarded, alright. Okay, I had rock solid grounds. Okay, I think this is where we present the chess set.
Objection!
It's not it! Okay, I think this is where we present because it was brought to him.
Objection!
Okay, damn it. Wrong statement. Right, so the fingerprints on the chess set are the ace up your sleeve. The what up my what? Oh yes, the chess set up the ace's sleeve. That's right, Edgeworth. I've got a winning hand as usual. Only, your winning hand is a busted flush. Or you see, it was Simeon Saint who brought that chess set to the victim in the first place. Therefore, it's only natural that his fingerprints are all over it. That took a while to sink in. In conclusion, those fingerprints aren't proof of anything and Mr. Saint's arrest was premature. Premature? The incident took place here within the walls of this facility, and being neither a guard nor a prisoner, it makes very little sense to suspect Mr. Saint. Oh. Now what? He. I think you might be the premature one here, Edgeworth. And I think you were the one accusing me of being hasty. Did he only just work out what that word means? Sure, I identified Mr. Saint as a suspect faster than pretty much anybody else. And I won the race when it came to picking out the crucial evidence, too. I'm quick on the draw, you see. But hasty? Not at all. You're right that Mr. Saint isn't a guard or a prisoner here, but he was... Eustace. Judge Gavel. But out, Gavel. I have him right where I want him. Forgive me, Eustace, but if I may... Well, the particulars of the suspect are indeed fascinating. Don't we have something a little more impressive to share with the prosecutor? Something more impressive? If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Edgeworth, Eustace made an ingenious deduction concerning the murder weapon. Perhaps you would like to hear it? Okay, what is the murder weapon though? Is it the dog? Listen to this, Edgeworth, and prepare to be amazed. Will this ingenious deduction explain why Mr. Saint was arrested? Let's just say you won't be disappointed. Judge Cavell deliberately diverted the conversation away from my line of questioning. What exactly is she up to? Whereabouts of the murder weapon? Fact 1, the murder weapon was some sort of metal blade. Fact 2, potentially deadly blades are strictly controlled within the prison walls, as you both know. From these two facts, I concluded that the weapon in question must have come from outside. It must have been hidden inside the chess set, that's what I think anyway. And since the only prints were found in the chess set belonged to the victim and the suspect, I'd say it's blindingly obvious who brought the weapon in and used it, wouldn't you? Nothing else, his testimony this time is a little more comprehensible than the last. Another winning deduction brought to you by one winner, Eustace, prosecutor extraordinaire. More like one winner, useless prosecutor extraordinaire, if you ask me. But how could anyone even hide a weapon inside the chess set? Good question. Why don't you take a look for yourselves? Inside the chessboard? Suppose there's only one way to find out. There's nothing in here but chess pieces. That laugh is really something. He seems pretty convinced that the weapon was hidden in here somewhere. Better take a closer look. What? The stiff lining at the top opens like a flap door. Oh, there's plenty of room in there. Indeed. More than enough to hide something like a small knife. Ingenious, no? The killer snuck the weapon in by... Ha! Huh? What do you mean, huh? Let me finish, will ya? I fear you've not been listening, Mr. Winner, or perhaps you've simply forgotten. The detention center is outfitted with a security gate. Huh? I mean, yeah, and... Security gate also acts as a metal detector, Eustace. We must pass through another one on the way into the prison itself, remember? Aha, yes, that's right, of course. I remember. You definitely didn't. It would have been impossible to smuggle a metal blade through such a gate and into the facility. Which would seem to blow a rather large hole in your reasoning, Mr. Winner. That gate is only used to scan people. Any items they bring into the facility are only subjected to a cursory check. Are you telling me that the chess set wasn't put through the metal detector? Should have been. Alas, it seems the guards have grown a little lax in that regard of late. Security gates data jotted down in my organizer. Very good. Thank you, Gavel. It was my pleasure. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, if you would be so kind as to begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination? It's like she's holding a trial. Well, no matter. Let's see how well this ingenious deduction of Mr. Winner's holds up, shall we? Murder weapon was some sort of metal blade. A metal blade, you say? And do you have any evidence to support this? Ha! You mean you didn't even look at the victim's injuries? Why am I not surprised you third rate? The fatal blow was a stab wound to the neck, and it was delivered by a knife-like blade. That much is absolutely beyond doubt. It appears they're not yet aware of another piece of information. So I think it's the footage where Knight was being attacked by the dog. Lost for words, are we? Then I'll just keep going. My brilliant deductions don't end there, you know. Fact 2. Potentially deadly blades are strictly controlled within the prison walls, as we both know.
Hold it!
The fact that such objects are strictly controlled doesn't mean they're actually forbidden. Well, no. I mean, some of the prisoners use scissors to cut the animal's hair, and that avenue of inquiry was conscientiously pursued, as you no doubt recall, Eustace. Yes, only one bladed object had been signed out by a single prisoner at the time of the incident. The item was tested for traces of blood, but none were found. I suppose he's referring to the scissors Mr. Sawit was using. So there's no way the blade in question came from inside the prison.
Hold it!
Excuse me. Outside? What does that mean exactly? Haha. The opposite of inside, you numbskull. Was that an attempt at clarification or a put down because it clearly accomplished neither? What Eustace means to say is that it must have been brought in from outside the prison by Mr. Saint. Honestly, Edgeworth, if you hadn't figured that out by now, then you're an even bigger loser than I thought. The feeling is mutual, believe me. Mr. Saint clearly brought the murder weapon into the prison. The question is how? Must have been inside the chess set, that's what I think.
Hold it!
But no murder weapon was found at the crime scene, and there's nothing inside the chessboard either. I'm curious, Mr. Winner. Do you also have thoughts about where this weapon might be? Well, the perpetrator must have hidden it somewhere in the prison. Is there a problem with this claim? They hid it somewhere inside the prison? That seems unlikely. In fact, I can prove that's not the case. What evidence suggests that the murder weapon isn't hiding somewhere in the prison? There was a search order, right? Yeah. Winner, Gavel, and the warden searched the prison for the murder weapon but couldn't find anything.
Take that!
I'm starting to worry about your memory, Mr. Winner. Didn't you and the good judge search the prison with Warden Lagarde? And didn't you fail to find a likely murder weapon? Well, yes, but I guess we just missed it, that's all. I almost forgot to stream today, yo. And ILL, what's up? Welcome on in. How are you doing? You're good. Nice. Good to hear. The OW sprites. Yes, the sprites. Sprites. Wow, way to undermine yourself. You're saying your search wasn't entirely thorough? You, the so-called winning rookie? Stop making fun of me. Eustace. Calm yourself. Breathe deeply. Do not allow your opponent to get under your skin. You're right. I am a winner. Why should I let a third-rate loser like Edgeworthless? Oh, sure get under my skin. I'll thank you to leave my name out of this. Well, I'm Kay Faraday and I'm A-OK. Not you two, please. Look, it's simple. Since my first-rate investigation didn't turn up any weapon, it means there wasn't one to find, which leaves only one possibility. The murderer took the weapon with him. The murderer took the weapon with him when he left the prison. Is this magician from an earlier game? No. And he's not a magician. That's why we couldn't find it when we looked, obviously. But what you're proposing is impossible. And this proves why the culprit couldn't possibly have taken the weapon out of the prison with them. Security gates.
Take that!
More memory trouble, Mr. Winner? Now you're forgetting things you yourself said. Are you making fun of me again? Is Eustace from an earlier game? No. He starts at this game. He wasn't in any previous ones. Oh, so you remember what I said. But perhaps you might have been better served by remembering this. What's that? Wait, does he seriously not remember? It would certainly seem that way. There's a security gate at each of the entrances to the detention center and the prison proper. A new face, yup. Coming from the prison, anyone leaving the facility would have had to have passed through both of them. Two gates, both fitted with metal detectors. Oh wait, now I remember. Looks like he got his memory back. So as you can see, there's no way anyone could have taken a weapon out through both gates. And therefore, there's no way the murder weapon could have left the building. Gah! Oh wow. In which case, Mr. Edgeworth, perhaps you would care to tell us where you think the murder weapon might be. It's still here on the premises. That's the only plausible conclusion to be drawn. But we searched the prison from top to bottom and couldn't find anything. Because you were never going to find anything to begin with. Not when you were laboring under the misconception that it's a blade you were looking for. Yeah, we know the truth about what happened to Mr. Knight. We've seen it with our own eyes. That is quite a claim. I assume you have the evidence to support it. What is the weapon that was used to commit the crime? Take a look at this, Judge Cavell, and the weapon used in this case will become clear. Security tape.
Take that!
This is footage taken from a security camera trained on Miss Knight's holding cell. Now watch it for yourselves and see. Okay, actually, the question is, was that Knight? That could have been a policeman. What? Oh. This footage captures the moment the victim was attacked by a black dog. More than sufficient proof of how he really died, wouldn't you say? Yes, it's certainly significant. So now we know that Knight was, in fact, killed in his cell by a vicious dog. A dog that moved the victim's body to the prison workshop post-mortem.
An ILL backseats with. Show your badge.
Badge. Badge. Badge. And it's badge too, by the way. We know this thanks to an eyewitness who saw the dog in the workshop when the body was discovered. Of course, I think we can all agree that there's no way the dog could have planned such a crime itself. Indeed, I fear it may be his handiwork after all. That's quite enough of that, Mr. Edgeworth. Judge Cavell, you're correct that this footage is an important piece of evidence. But it also raises an important new question. A question that I suspect you have also been asking yourself. She's right, there's one major problem with my version of the events. The black dog, the one that belongs to one of the inmates, how did it move between the holding cells and the prison proper at will? Oh! How do we answer that one, Mr. Edgeworth? Is it the door sensors? I think it's the door sensors. Truth is, I don't know yet. Of course not. Can it, Wonder Boy? You didn't even notice there was a problem. Until the defense provides an adequate explanation, the court cannot accept your line of logic. That is all. This court is adjourned. But wait, there's still so much more to explore. Overruled. Court is no longer in session, Mr. Edgeworth. If you would be so kind as to leave the courtroom. Court was never in session in the first place. Once again, this court is
Objection!
We may not have all the answers yet, but you haven't explained anything either regarding Saint. What do you mean? Just as we don't know yet how the dog made it into one of the detention center's holding cells. You can't know how Mr. Saint could have made it inside the detention center, let alone the prison either. He would have been allowed as far as the visitor's room to see his friend, but no further. So it's hard for me to convince how he could have committed the crime in a place he had no access to. Judge Cavell, I believe it's your turn to provide some proof. Proof that Simeon Saint was able to enter the prison. Haha. You wish for the court to provide you with proof? Highly irregular, but very well. What? They actually have something? Now seems like a good time as any. And I suppose you have been kind enough to share your own theories on the case. What's she building up to here? Mr. Edgeworth, I suspect you don't know what Mr. Saint does for a living, so allow me to fill you in. He is a circus performer. What? Yes, perhaps you've heard of the Very Big Circus? Oh god, is Max Galactica gonna make an appearance here? Oh, don't be silly, darling. Of course I was. Yesterday was a very important day after all. Important in what way exactly? A big meeting of some kind, perhaps? A meeting? Oh heavens, no. I couldn't think of anything worse. No. Yesterday, the circus came to visit. You see it now, I assume? As I am sure you are aware, a show was held yesterday for the prisoners' entertainment. A show featuring animals and performers, performed by members of the Very Big Circus. So, that means Mr. Saint? Yes, Mr. Saint was allowed inside the prison as part of that show. A fact that has been confirmed beyond reasonable doubt. She held into that fact until the last possible moment. She let me run with my own theory, and only afterwards did she use it to reveal the truth. Wait. But out, Cavell, I have him right where I want him. Forgive me, Eustace, but if I may, while the particulars of the suspect are indeed fascinating, don't we have something a little more impressive to share with the prosecutor? That must be why he steered him into a different topic back then. I got you good, didn't I, you third-rate prosecutor? This has nothing to do with you. Gentlemen, this court is well and truly adjourned. If I may offer a word of advice, Mr. Edgeworth. Your conduct as a prosecutor is already in question. You would do well to remember that you were removed from this case for that precise reason. What are you trying to say? That the committee reserves the right to confiscate your badge at any time. Should you wish to retain it, you would do well to avoid crossing paths with us again. Is that a threat? The goddess of justice is compassionate, Mr. Edgeworth, but she is not endlessly forgiving. Oh, and one last thing. You're no defense attorney. Abandon this foolish pretense. Thank you for your concern. But I do not abandon anything. What I start, I finish. Well, do try to remember that the two jobs are not one and the same, and that a defense attorney is expected to develop something of a bond with their client. Next time, finding out your client's real occupation might be a good place to start. Now, I really must be going. May the goddess of justice watch over you all. Alright, does that mean that this guy's profile is updated? Okay, it isn't updated yet. Okay, Lang is here now. Canis is here. Sawit, Lagarde, Saint, Winner. Winner's only 17 and Gavel's... Okay. She's just 26 and she's a judge mommy. So, Simeon lied to us. Not just you two, guy took me for a ride too. What's his deal? Whoa, you're not having second thoughts about all this, are you, Milesy boy? Sure, Judge Gavel is a tough cookie, but that doesn't mean you can just give up the ghost. The defense never rests, as a wise man once said. And that goes for associates too. Don't worry, Fender. I have no intention of resting. Nevertheless, our assumption that Mr. Saint couldn't have entered the prison has been proven false. Which means we'll need to restart our investigation from square one, I'm afraid. To be continued. Oh. Very big circus. Are we going back? Oh god. This reminds me of like Turnabout Big Top. Right, March 28th, 3:02 p.m. Detention Center Visitors Room. You withheld information from me. Why? Eep. I didn't withhold anything, or at least I didn't mean to. Okay, so you are a member of the Very Big Circus, right? No, I mean, yes, but no. I'm not really a member. I'm still new. That's irrelevant. You're still a member. Okay, wow. Let's try this again. Why didn't you tell us? Because it would have looked so suspicious. Me being a performer in the circus show, and me being friends with Bronco. I thought that if anyone found out, nobody would believe I was innocent. Not even you, Kay. I thought it made it clear that I believed in you. But when you stare at me like that, I get so terrified, You're a real smooth operator, aren't you, Miles? Any other client scaring tips you want to share? You're really not helping, Fender. And at this rate, it sounds like we really need to question him about everything all over again. So, what do you do at the circus, Simeon? I'm an animal tamer, kind of. I'm still learning the ropes. That's so cool! Do you get to train lions and tigers and bears and stuff? Lions, tigers, bears? Oh my! Ah, crap. This is a Wizard of Oz reference. No. I work with this little guy. Looks pretty tame already to me. So you're not exactly a tamer, more like one of those old-timey organ grinders. Oh wait, why is the monkey down? Money, wait, that's Money, holy shoot. That's Money the monkey from Turnabout Big Top. So the monkey's controlling. It was the monkey. The monkey did it. Something tells me it's the organ grinder who's being monkeyed around. When we spoke to you before, you said you worked at the company. I was telling the truth. The circus really is a company. We all have titles and everything. The ringmaster's the CEO and I guess he called me a gopher. I even have a lion manager. She's head of the animal taming department. It's part of the showbiz division. She's such an inspiration. There isn't a creature in the world she couldn't convince to do her bidding. Even Miles here? I'd like to see somebody whip him into shape. I'm not some kind of creature, Fender. So this line manager, was she working with you on the show? Yes, it was just us two. It wasn't all that big of a job compared to what we normally do. She's usually the one performing on stage, I just do all the monkey work. But I did have a bit part this time. So only 2 members of the circus are relevant to this case. Alright, talk to me through your movements here at the facility. Sure. I came to see Bronco at around noon 2 days ago. And that was when you brought him the chess set. Yes, and that same evening I started to work on setting up the stage in the yard. It was so hard I had to haul everything in by myself over multiple trips. They let us use one of the rooms in the prison for storage, Workshop A I think. Workshop A, where Knight's body was found. You mean your boss didn't help you? Oh no, I could never ask her to shelf all that stuff around. Like I said, the monkey work's my job. Once it was all set up, we did a run-through and it must have been, midnight by the time I left. The next morning, I was back and ready for the show which started at 8 AM. Then we performed till 10? So Mr. Saint was the only one of the pair to have entered the room where the body was found. And Knight's body was found immediately after the show has ended. Do you have any idea why you were arrested? And why so quickly? I've never seen a guy get booked so fast. Surely even Lil Winner wouldn't just pull somebody in on a hunch. Never underestimate the power of an underdeveloped intellect. I think I might know why. Sorry, just give me a sec. Okay. When I was moving all the stuff, I went to go see how he was doing. Bronco, I mean. Oh. You went to the holding cells on your own? Tell me you had permission. No, it wasn't a formal visit or anything, so I just sort of snuck over and hoped no one stopped me. But you just seen him earlier that same day. Why take the risk? I've known him since we were kids, when both of us were all alone. He doesn't have a family, you see, just like me. I knew he'd be feeling lonely, that he'd want somebody to talk to, so I had to go see him. You don't have any family? For a while I had my dad, but he passed away when I was a little kid. Losing one's father as a child, I know that pain all too well. Ah, he's just like you and me, Mr. Edgeworth. There was nobody else nearby when you went to see him? No, the other holding cells were empty and I didn't see any guards. Heh, well somebody must have seen you, or would it be in there? Oh no. I messed up bad, didn't I? So the assumption is that something happened while the two were alone together. At least, I imagine that would be Winner and Judge Gavel's thinking. In any case, I think we'll need to speak to your boss next. Last I heard, she's supposed to be around today, too, somewhere in the yard. Tell her I'm sorry, won't you? I'm so sorry. Can't believe I let this happen. Sure thing, Simeon. We're here for you. If there's anything else we can do, just say the word. But, I mean, that is, there's nothing I can do for you in return. You don't have to worry about that. We're friends. We know what it's like to be in your shoes. We're all part of the same club after all. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Unfortunately so, I'm afraid. Thank you for sharing... Thank you for sharing such personal details with us. By the sound of it, you had little reason to kill Knight. If anything, you're the one most affected by his passing. And what's more, I simply don't believe a person as gentle as you is capable of murder. In before the actual breakdown. Rest assured, we believe you and we will get you out of here. Well, what do we have here? A gosh darn defense attorney, that's what. Bravo, big guy. Can't believe I'm saying it, but he even reminded me of your old man for a moment there. I did? From the Book of Gregory, an attorney is a friend to the friendless. Simeon me, bucko. This guy will suffer any hardship for your friendship. Things are gonna be shiply amazing. I didn't realize Talk Like a Pirate Day had come early this year, Fender. But that's just the thing. You never know when a pirate will strike next. Anyway, kid, you want some candy? No thanks, I don't like sweet stuff. Oh ha, bummer. I wouldn't mind a nice ship myself. A great thief's galleon for the dread pirate K. Yar, me hearties. They'll sail the seven seas together and claim the greatest treasure of all, the truth. Shiver me timbers, you two will be the death of me. Come on, let's sail for the prison yard. But no sea shanties on the way, please. Look, the shutter's open. That's the way out to the yard, I believe. Let's go take a look. Come on, what are you waiting for? Someone's excited. There's a lot of things. So this is the famous yard. The circus performance was taking place here just before the body was discovered. Check it out! It's like the backdrop to some epic festival. Most of the prisoners were assembled here when the body was discovered. Which means that anyone who saw the show has an alibi. Alright, time to take a look around. Eek! K! Stop hitting me! Help, Mr. Edgeworth! Cease and desist, you beast. Ah, somebody ouch, help me! Stay? Asia, stay? Who's that? It's Regina! Aw, you found a new friend to play with. Good for you, girl. Play with? Your elephant nearly ate me. No way, she'd never do a thing like that. Asia doesn't even bite, at least not very often. So she does have a taste for human flesh. How did you like meeting a real-life elephant up close? Aren't you glad you did? Yeah, glad I didn't die. But you did have fun, right? Right? There, sweetie, don't cry. She had a wonderful time, didn't Kay? Don't mislead the poor girl, Fender. She did? Oh, I'm so happy. It's her profile here now. Okay, her profile's not it here. Here, let me make it up to you. How about a hug? Ah! Keep your trunk to yourself. Hehe. Another new friend. Isn't this just the best day ever? I am Associate Defense Attorney Miles Edgeworth. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I haven't even introduced myself. I'm Regina. It's so nice to meet you. I'm Kay, Great Thief Extraordinaire and Mr. Associate Defense Attorney's Great Associate. This self-introduction brought to you by the word convoluted. And your elephant's newest friend is Mr. Fender, the defense attorney. Oh, she's not just any elephant, that's Azia, the Asian elephant. Azia stopped the second you told her to. You really have a way with animals, Regina. I wouldn't be much of an animal tamer if I didn't. What? So you're Simeon's boss? That's right, Regina Berry, head of the Animal Taming Department, Showbiz Division. Very big circus. It's so lovely to meet all of you. Pleasure's all ours, mademoiselle. Name's Eddie Fender. I'm a bit of an ace attorney. So much for whipping me into shape. Yes, she's perfect. What are you muttering to yourself about, Gay? That positivity, that charisma, that energy. Regina, you'd make a perfect partner in crime for the great thief Yatagarasu. Great thief? That sounds like fun. My animals and I have stolen the spotlight quite a bit in our time. That's the one thing we don't want to steal. Gotta keep it on the down low, all stealthy ninja-like. What's weird the fun without the show? The down low sounds like it might get me down. Bummer. I think we've got a fundamental difference of opinion going on here. Okay, Regina here. See, Regina's just 17. Alright. Wait, wasn't she also just like 17 and Turnabout Big Top? Or was she 16 back then? I think she was 16. Anyway. It would indeed appear that negotiations have broken down. Maybe next time, Kay. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, let's get cracking. Too bad we can't see much of what's beyond that metal fence, though. Indeed, and we're in sore need of information in addition to evidence. Therefore, we should make an effort to talk with any persons of interest as well. If you're the head of the animal training department, you must be Mr. Saint's boss. That's right. My dad founded a very big circus, but he passed away. He was murdered. Okay, memories of Turnabout Big Top. I'm sorry to hear that. But we have a new ringmaster now, and he's made the circus bigger and better than ever. He's such a nice man, and he was a good friend of my dad's. That was Mo. I know, right? It was his idea to set up departments like animal taming, magic, and ventriloquy. Only animal taming and ventriloquy have more than one person right now. But the Very Big Circus is getting bigger and better day by day. Sounds like you guys are really going places. They're getting on well. I'll leave it to them. Can you tell me about the show? Oh, it's a wonderful thing. It even has a story. And not just any story, it's a love story. Isn't that dreamy? Sounds like a regular riot. So who's the star of the show? Let me guess. You? No, silly. That would be Azia. And she falls in love with none other than Regent the Tiger. Regent! It's a heart-rendering saga of forbidden interspecies romance. Oh, Nelly. I've heard of odd couples, but that takes the biscuit. And that's not all. There's a love triangle too. It's so romantic. That sounds pretty incredible, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? So the elephant is the heroine. I suppose there's a first time for everything. And who's the third wheel? Oh, that would be the big old meanie who tries to tear our star-crossed lovers apart. Ooh, what animal do you think it is, Mr. Edgeworth? Given that it's a circus, perhaps a lion? I think a raven would be cool, just like the Yatagarasu. Nope, it's a sneaky monkey. That's certainly lowered the stakes. Oh, you mean money, right? Nope. Again, the role of the monkey is played by Simeon. Money's far too small to play against Azay and Regent, silly. Anyway, the evil villain tries to tear Azay and Regent apart. What will become of the fated twosome? It's so exciting, isn't it? Wow, it sure is. So, Mr. Saint was more than just the little helper he claims to be. Poor Simeon, it'd be terrible if he couldn't perform with us anymore. Can you tell me about how you set things up for the performance? Oh, that's not really my area. Simeon took care of all the lifting and carrying. He's such a sweetie. He offered to do everything by telling me to concentrate on the show. I did see him doing something near that well, though. A well. I recall seeing one behind the stage. I should examine it in more detail. You should have seen him moving those huge cages around all by himself. He's a total hero. Yeah, sounds like something he would do. Weeping all the time. He was going back and forth between the yard here and some sort of workshop with all the equipment. The person gave us special permission to use it for storage. But he was the only one who went down there, so I don't know much more than that. Excuse me. The workshop must be the one where Knight's body was found. I guess this confirms that Mr. Saint was the only performer to have gone into Workshop A. Well, this sucks. All we're getting is information that works against us. You have to help Simeon, Mr. Attorney. We're all counting on you. Just leave it to us. He may not look it, but Mr. Edgeworth knows how to get things done. And what exactly is he may not look it supposed to mean? An Asian elephant named Azea in one of the Bear Big Circus's many animals. She certainly seems very fond of petting humans based on what we've seen. Well, most humans. Just can't glare at her like that, Mr. Edgeworth. She'll think you're trying to show her who's the boss. And you're telling me she thinks I'm one of her kind. No, just that she respects you, I guess. How comforting. What's up? Who doesn't love a good circus performance, eh? A foray into the realm of fantasy. If the performance is a good one, it can certainly be entertaining, yes? Man, I'm getting pumped just thinking about it. Chance to escape reality, however brief, can often be a powerful tonic. You got that right. Does it just make you want to hug someone? Wow, he's a hugger. Like the circus. Holding a show here right in the shadow of the fence that keeps these guys in. Guess the magic of the big top is enough to make them forget that they're in the same boat as the animals. Fence. I suppose I should examine it too. It is part of this facility after all. Well, we missed the show, but we still got the stage and all this other stuff to check out. He's right. I should also look over the show set and the equipment just in case something useful turns up. Chat over, huh? You don't exactly give a guy a lot to work with, Miles. Kid's really something, huh? Wish I still had the 10th of her starry-eyed outlook. I suppose that's because her head seems to be up in the clouds. Right? She's so above it all that no one dares to go against her. That she doesn't even need to crack the whip with the animals. The eyes go from starry to steely and suddenly it's sit, stay. I can't think of somebody who very much enjoys cracking the whip. Franny. You can, huh? Sounds like a real piece of work. Come on, Miles Sereno, spill the beans. Trust me, Fender, one crack of her whip and you'll be running for the courthouse doors. Hey! What are you shouting at? Ones like this usually have goldfish in them, right? I wanted to see if they'd come say hello. I only see water striders. Hey, water striders are cool. They can walk on water just like ninjas. Whoosh, whoosh. Man, I wish I could do that. So much for the goldfish. Danger, high voltage. I never seen ones of these in real life. Hey, that must be the fabulous garden outside the warden's office over there. Yes, Warden Lagarde mentioned being able to see it from her window on the detention center side. Wish this dumb barbed metal fence wasn't in the way though. I thought it was all one big yard. Given how protective the warden seemed of her little bit of earth, I'd imagine it's to keep riffraff like us out. There you are. Oh, it's Lagarde. Regina Cupcake. Oh, Warden Lagarde. I've been simply dying to sit you down for a chat, you exquisite little thing. Do you mind if I ask a little about the prison? Oh, not at all. This place is my pride and joy, my home. Sure, it was a prison when I first arrived, and it was awful, an utter disgrace. Awful? I suppose you mean the prisoners were unruly. I most certainly do not. They are angels, every one of them, and they always have been. No, it was the ambience that was awful. I fretted, I brooded, and then it hit me. The animals. If anyone could brighten up the place, it was them. It's nice having them around. Isn't it just? And now look at my fabulous little family. Why, my darling, Frankie is the very picture of rehabilitation. Except when he's rifling through dead men's pockets. We have so many success stories among the family, but darling Frankie really is a marvel. He's thrown himself into his vocational training and is always the first to volunteer for everything. What? And your other model prisoners don't do that? Oh, of course they do, my dear, of course. They're all such triers, such doers. It's just that Frankie, let's just say he knows what's good for him. What exactly does she mean by that? Anyway, he's a very good boy. So do try to be nice to him, won't you? Loud soaring music, great leaping animals. The Berry Big Circus truly has it all. Hehe. And everyone who comes here gets to see it once a month. Really? In that case, let me see. She'd better not be thinking of something to confess to. This monthly show, is it always performed by the Berry Big Circus? But of course, sweetie, I'm Regina's biggest fan. That girl's my little princess, my superstar. She's so wonderfully talented. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And she's so adorable, so sweet. I could just gobble her right up. You're not lying when you say you're her biggest fan, huh? Which is why I'm worried about her. So worried. It's all because of poor Simeon, you see. If he's found guilty, why, darling Regina will be devastated. So you simply must make sure that doesn't happen, Mr. Lawyer. Please, I'm begging you. If there's anything I can do to help you clear up this awful misunderstanding, you let me know. Oh, what is Sawhead doing here? Ah, Mr. Attorney, sir, and how are you today, if you don't mind me asking? Today? We just talked to him earlier, Mr. Sawet. Oh heavens, I do apologize. Ever since I came to call this place home, I've been working on my interpersonal skills, you see. In order to be as annoying as possible. I'm currently helping out with the circus show stage teardown and cleanup. But if you have need of me, I'll do my utmost to help. I'm just chipping in and doing what I can, model prisoner that I am. Yes, my stay in this prison has seen me reborn. The Frank Sawet you see before you is a changed man. A changed man who now targets the recently deceased? No, you misunderstand. That was just a moment of madness. A moment of madness? Ugh, you're a disgrace to all thieves everywhere. You're right, of course. I can't deny it. I still have a long way to go. Anyways, as you can see, I have a shiny new bracelet now. So it's the straight and narrow for me, like I say, I'm a model prisoner. Not that a real model prisoner would need to keep telling me that. I'm doing everything I can to prepare for my eventual return to society. Yeah, you even skipped the show to focus on your training, didn't you? That's right, only 2 inmates were absent, Sawet and Canis. Why didn't you tell us about Mr. Canis sooner? Look, I don't think there's an inmate in this prison who'd talk about him even if they didn't have to. Well, you could say he's the real one in charge around here. You didn't hear it from me, but well, I guess it comes with being the fixer. The fixer? Yes, anything you need, he can get it for you. Wow, an internal fixer. Who would have thunk? But how does he get away with it? I'm not sure, but he's the only one who does. I heard he has a secret way of getting things into the facility. I imagine being the fixer affords Canis certain privileges. Not that I concern myself with such things anymore, of course. I'm far more interested in perfecting my mud pack application techniques. And what are these mud packs exactly? They're a special type of mud treatment rich with minerals that works wonders for their coats. I've been practicing on the animals here in the prison. I hope to treat them all eventually. Speaking of mud, that reminds me of a certain piece of evidence. Maybe I should try presenting it to him. Is that this? That's the rubber glove I dropped. Would you care to explain why it's so dirty? Oh, of course. That's mud from one of the pet treatments I've been practicing. I was giving one of the animals a mud pack right when the incident happened. I see. Around what time would this have been? Let's see. The show had already started, so around 9 AM perhaps? The thing is, the more mud I applied, the more in the zone I got and the darker the animal's fur became. There's no trance quite like the trance one enters when one slathers an animal with thick black mud. Oh my god, could the dog have just been muddied up? I think the stress of prison might be getting to him. Of course, it's all thanks to the warden that we have access to such wonderful distractions. I'm eternally grateful, truly I am. This must be the stage for the show. Do you think people would be interested in a great thieving show? I'm sure the police would be very eager to attend. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, you just got stuck there, really. A simple, sturdily built well. Wonder if it was the work of the prisoners. Somebody's left a bunch of tools lying around. There's a long piece of rope and a pretty heavy-looking weight. Let's see, it weighs 3 pounds. Oh, and there are some pulleys too. Okay, can you stop touching everything inside? Oh, come on, it's not like I was gonna take anything. What exactly were they being used for, I wonder? Regina, darling, you put on the most splendid show for us yet again. The stage, the stars, and you in particular, my princess. It was simply divine. That's so nice of you. I hope everybody else who watched enjoyed it too. About that, dear, I'm afraid I have something awful to confess. There were some absences, you see. She must be in Canis and saw it. We were 3 members short. Unbelievable, I know. How will you ever forgive me? I'm sorry, but you're saying that 3 inmates didn't attend the show? That's right, sweetie. I counted the seats myself. 1, 2, 3 no-shows. And I always make sure there are enough seats for everybody. But Mr. Edgeworth, that's not right, is it? Indeed, as far as we were aware, Mr. Canis and Mr. Zoet were the only ones not present. This doesn't add up. Who was the 3rd missing prisoner and what were they doing? It seems we need to investigate further. Oh, I was enjoying my chat with dear Regina so much I almost forgot. I must feed the little one. Little one? Yikes! Oh my god, there's a crocodile. Or alligator. Alligator! You're looking as adorable as always, Allie, my sweet. Aw, she's so pretty. And what a cute name. Ah, yes, Allie the alligator. Isn't she a darling? She's my favorite. Aren't you? Yes, you are. I'm so jealous. Can I pet her? Of course, princess, of course. Boy, howdy. These two were made for one another. They look like they'll be busy for a while. Maybe we should go back inside the prison and check the cells. Yes, let's. Perhaps we can find a clue as to who our 3rd missing prisoner might be. March 28, 4:02 PM, prison corridor. Alright. I will pause here for a while. I will take a very quick break. I will run the ads during this time. Then after around 3-ish minutes, we'll resume this. So I will BRB. And it took less than 4 hours. Do I dare like it? It's gonna attract attention. Well, Carl, you deserve that. I heard the whistle. I should have this. Oh, thank God. I swear if I dart there, I am going to be livid. Oh shit. Can I get the second spring here? My hint would be use your head. Ha! Get wrecked, Sarah. Fuck! Ah. So this is the safe spot, right? No, 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 no. Sure! Okay. Now, please do not screw this up. Told you not to screw that up. I am sorry I destroyed the comedic timing of that hint. So I will pretend, I will do my best acting job to find, to try to like go to that hint for the first time. Alright. Okay, haha, we found out that there's a fish here. Get wrecked, fish. I'm surprised there isn't a second fish. Okay, I fell to that trap the last time. I will not fall for it again. What is this? Mushroom. Where do you get a mushroom? Gasp! Go back! Oh no. That was bad acting. I am so sorry. You know what? I can like just get in there right away. Why am I still waiting for that to like blow up? Yeah, it's here. Haha! If you kill that second Goomba. Okay, ice, concrete, cloud, question, ice. Do not Greg! I Gregged. That was embarrassing. YOLO or not the YOLO? YOLO! That's good. You know what? What if this is the answer? It's not. There's a door there. And we back. Alright. Alright, okay, so we continue this. Looks like this will be a long case. Okay, prison corridor. Sir, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I finally caught up with you. Gummy. Yes! Yo, Covert, what's up? Detective, you're not needed elsewhere? No, the judge and the kid aren't here yet. Oh, and I got your message. So you searched the victim's cell? Did you manage to turn anything up? We struck gold, sir. Well, blood anyway. Just right there on the floor. Only in tiny specks though, but at least it's something. Yeah, it proves that holding cell was the scene of the crime, right? Not quite. Proves a possibility, but it's not conclusive yet. I thought you'd say that, sir, which is why I ordered some follow-up for it. Ask forensics to analyze the blood and see if it matches the victims. They're on it as we speak. Nice work, Gummy. You thought of everything. Detective, I must say, I'm impressed. Did you hit your head or something? Gee, don't look so surprised, sir. I just hope things continue to go in our favor. 5th floor data updated in my organizer. Alrighty, so that's proof that the murder happened in the detention center. For our next trick, we'll find out how that dog got over there. Don't worry, you can leave that one to me. Until the kid and his chaperone get here, we've got the whole prison to ourselves. Which is why I brought my secret weapons along. Secret weapons? That's right, a few tools of the trade that we have helped me bust more than a few cases wide open. Behold, the 7 secret weapons of Dick Gumshoe, Ace Detective Extraordinaire. Well, I don't know about you crazy cats, but I'm sold. Miles? Very well, Detective. We'll try using your secret weapons. You got it, sir. Let me run you through the list. Secret weapon number 1. My trusty old metal detector. If it's made of steel, silver, or scrap, this little guy right will find it. So it detects metal. Very good, Detective. Next up, secret weapon number 2. Missile. Everyone's favorite crime-fighting canine. Missile! You can track it's pretty much any scent you put in front of it, especially food. He sure is a lot cuter than Mr. Canis's dog. And now for secret weapon number 3. Where'd I put it? Aha! Am I one snapper short of a school, or is that a fishing rod? Don't tell me we're going fishing for clues. No, I mean, I just happen to have it with me, that's all. I see. Well, onwards and upwards, Detective. Let's see what else you've had. That's all she wrote, sir. Gummy, you're 4 secret weapons short of your so-called 7, and one of them was a fishing rod. Sorry, but that's all for today, okay? I'll show you the rest next time. Why are there only 2? Okay, 3. Why do you think I call him secret? Guy can just go sharing everything at once. That's crazy. In that case, then I suppose the 3 you've designed to reveal to us will have to do for now. Alright, which one do you want to try, sir? Let's try the metal detector. Metal detector seems promising. Coming right up. I'll just crank the old girl up. And away we go. Is everything alright, Detective? Uh-oh, looks like I should have brought a spare battery. Ooh, that's not gonna be much help. Sorry, sir. Looks like the metal detector will have to wait. Let's try something else. Alright, which one do you want to try? Let's try missile. You got it, sir. Hey, missile. Here, boy. Ah, woof. Aw, he really came. So what are we tracking? We're trying to find out how Mr. Canis's dog got to the holding cells in the first place. I suspect the same route was used to bring Knight's body back to the prison. So we give the pooch a sniff of the body, and he'll find that route for us. Does anyone else smell something sweet? All I smell is the odor of blood. It's faint, sir, but it's there, almost like cake, maybe. Why would the body smell of cake? Okay, Missile, get a noseful. Here we go, follow that dog. That's the way to... He's headed for maximum security. Uh-oh, he's going in. Then we'll just have to follow after him. Okay, where's Canis? Prison, maximum security. This is Canis' cell, though the man himself is absent, it seems. Is he meeting with someone in the visitor's room? Do you think Missile's onto something? Shh. Looks like maybe he is. Woof 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 woof. Is there something here? Let's get snooping, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, why are we in the cell? Tea and rice crackers. Mr. Canis clearly doesn't lack for comforts. I can't think of worse ways to spend my time in jail than drinking tea and playing chess. I thought this was maximum security, not maximum comfort. How come nobody else gets the special treatment? Complaining to me isn't going to help. Perhaps you could take it up with the man himself. Yikes, no thanks. Alright, this is the chess set. We obviously know this. Mr. Canis' chess set completed a special doggies. That's not a chess set, that's a whole chess table with legs. Looks like it might be worth something too. It's not inconceivable, some of them are. This is quite a nice one. I've never pegged Mr. Canis as a chess fan though. What with the whole Eastern aesthetic he's got going, I thought he'd be more into Go. Go, huh? Can you play? I can play Go Fish. Not the same thing, Kay, not even close. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, that chisel on the floor is a bit smaller than the others. I'm no woodworker, but perhaps it's an all-purpose one that can be used in a pinch regardless of the job. An all-purpose pocket chisel? Makes sense. Always nice when your tools are useful and easy to carry. Is that your opinion as a thief? Nope, it's my opinion as a great thief. I walked into that one. Against check the beads. Mr. Canis' chisels, everyone a potential murder weapon. That reminds me of something. The furrows in your brow. When you frown, it looks like somebody took a chisel to your forehead. I have no idea what you mean. See, they're so deep. Don't tell me you don't see it, Mr. Wood Carving Face. Have you quite finished? Woof woof. Woof 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 woof. Hmm? What's the matter, boy? Wait, is this cake what you were after? Whoa, down boy, stop that. No, you can't have it. Dogs can't eat chocolate, you know that. If you won't behave, I'll just have to eat it myself. Not bad. That's some real outside the chocolate box thinking there. Not sure everybody agrees though. Gummy, I wanted some. Okay, you just ate like the food of the head honcho. Daring a few both assume the food in the prison is safe to eat. Well, daring or dumb. So anyway, it looks like it really was cake Missile was tracking. Talk about a waste of time. I suppose we got our just desserts. But the little guy's definitely capable, right? Sure he is. This is just a blip. You'll follow the right set this time, I promise. Seek, boy. Woof woof. Oh, I think he's onto something. Whatever it is, it's in there. Mr. Carcerato's cell. We'll need to take a look inside. Detective, call the guard. Yes, sir. Thank you, officer. A question before we begin. Is the prisoner Mr. Carcerato still in solitary? No, sir. He came back a little while ago. And he was here for the noon roll call. Guess he must be on work duty someplace. I see. Now, if you would be so kind as to open his cell. Yes, sir. Okay, alright. I'm surprised that they give the prisoners heaters, unusually kind or unusually careless. I wonder if he uses it all year round. To help him lose water weight, maybe. Yeesh, I hope his furry friend can deal with the heat. I'm sure they've learned to sweat things out together by now. Oh, why is like Lagarde in a punching bag? This punching bag has certainly... Woof 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 woof. What breed were you again, Miss Alisher? It wasn't a boxer? No way. No way indeed. Quickly, detective. Move the sandbag aside. Yes, sir. A hole! Could this be... Oh there, wait, missile. I'm going in too. Wait, stop! Sir, I'll go get her. Ooh, that tight. Shouldn't have eaten the cake. Wait, I didn't even explore like the rest of the cell. He's gone. Well, I'm not going in there. Guess we'll just have to wait. Hello? Okay, are you alright? You're not gonna believe this, but we're in the detention center. The detention center? That hole. It's a tunnel that leads right into Mr. Knight's cell. What? Don't go anywhere. I'm on my way. Wait, where did you come from? I mean, where's the hole? Okay. Hey there, Mr. Edgeworth. Guess you could say we made a breakthrough. Quite. At least they came out unscathed, I think. Sir, the floorboards under the bed were torn up. So that's how they did it. There's no doubt about it. This must be the route we've been looking for. The corridor connecting the detention center and the prison is locked down by heavy security doors. But with the help of this tunnel, it can be circumvented. Okay, that's just like very convoluted. It was a sweet scent that started with this whole search. Could it be that the scent was in fact coming from Knight's body after all? Killed instantly by a stab wound, a sweet scent can be detected. Incidentally, Knight's body was covered in dirt that might have been dirt that might have come from being dragged through this tunnel. Okay, what was it like down there? Well, it was pitch black, so I couldn't see a whole lot. Luckily, my camera has a flash, so I took some pictures. Let's see what you've captured. Look at that. Spoons, a fork. Guess these were for digging a tunnel. That aside, are those footprints? Paw prints even, from a dog perhaps. Gasp. This is a vital piece of evidence. However, it begs something of a question. It does? Mr. Carcherato has certainly been making use of this tunnel, which means... Detective, we need to find out where Mr. Carcherato is immediately. My suspicions are correct? Huh? Aw, nuts! The guards were alerted and they began searching for Mr. Carcherato right away. But after a thorough investigation of both the prison and the detention center, he was nowhere to be found. He escaped! Well, have the police been notified? Yes, ma'am. We just finished liaising with them a moment ago. They've set up a cordon around the entire facility. Good. The first blemish in a prison's spotless reputation is always the ugliest. It won't happen again, ma'am. A rather different Warden Lagarde to the one we've seen so far. Mr. Edgeworth, was it? I really can't thank you enough for finding that tunnel, darling. Sadly, it may have been too little too late. It seems he might have already left the building. I'd say that's unlikely, Warden. After all, there's a security gate at the exit to the detention center. You're not suggesting he simply walked through it? What's to say there was only one tunnel, sweetie? I suppose that's true. Well, whatever the case, this is no time to be standing around chit-chatting. Mr. Edgeworth, would you mind continuing with your investigation? It would be my pleasure. And you there. And you three can get back to your posts. Yes, ma'am. They all look the same. Detective, the results of the blood test just came back from the lab. Thanks, pal. Let's see what they have to tell us about the blood we found in Knight's cell. What does it say, Mr. Edgeworth? They've identified the blood and it's Knight's. White floor data updated in organizer. Nice job, everybody. Teamwork makes the dream work, huh? We've got Knight's blood in his holding cell, a tunnel, and a dog clearly went through. And security footage showing Knight being attacked by the dog in his cell. Case closed. We have all the evidence we need. Let's see what Mr. Canis has to say for himself. Canis? Oh, darlings, are you sure? Do be careful around him, won't you? He's as well connected on the outside as he is in here. I suppose he would have to be. How else would the so-called fixers stay in business? The police have been trying to track down his accomplices for the longest time. Even I've had to lend them a hand myself, you know. So that's what that was all about. He's still not talking, ma'am, even with the evidence he borrowed from the precinct? No, and I've tried so many times, I've lost count. What am I supposed to do? I can't send in a blank report. I guess a killer for hire was always going to be a tough nut to crack. You borrowed evidence from the police to help with your investigation, is that correct? Why, yes, sweetie. Everything related to Candice is with me now. Heaven knows how many times I've hauled a secretive scoundrel to my office to talk to me. But no matter what I say or how much evidence I present with him with, he simply won't say a word. A prison warden conducting interrogations herself, that's irregular to say the least. Let your guard down and he'll devour you whole. Be careful, darlings. You have been warned. Ooh-wee. And here I thought things couldn't get any spicier. Oh my god, everyone's here. We have Gavel Winner. We have Judge Mommy. Judge Gavel, I didn't expect to find you here. We have been conducting inquiries, which, given that we are in charge of the investigation, is hardly strange. What is strange is that you are still here, Mr. Edgeworth. I gave you a warning, did I not? I told you that your badge was at risk should our paths cross again, and yet, here you are. I am sorry that you thought that I might be so easily discouraged, Your Honor. But I am not about to let the truth slip from my grasp, no matter what you or the committee might say. I am here to present a certain someone with evidence that you yourself should have uncovered. Heh. You have more business with me, I take it, Mr. Edgeworth. I do. I promised I would be back to prove that you were the killer, and here I am. This should be amusing. Very well, whenever you are ready.
Objection!
Not so fast. We have some fruits of our holy crap, Muz. Muz, what is up? Welcome on in. Thank you for the raid. Get raided. Yo, Muz. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you for the shout out, Coburn. Muz, how was your stream? Super Mario Maker. Okay, did you not go for Fennel tonight? How are you, Muz? Welcome, Raiders. Yo, Pai, what's up? Now you're here twice. It shows you even with the Raider tag. Almost a 30 no-skip run. Wow, that was amazing. That's amazing. Did you do a Hail Mary on your last level? Anyway, Raiders coming in from Muz's stream. Welcome on in. Again, thank you for raid. Thank you for dropping by. If you don't know me, I'm Psycho. I'm a Raider. I'm a Raider. Wow. I'm a streamer from the Philippines and I play the Marios. I play variety, and as you can see tonight, we are playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2. And yeah, we are in the second case. Got an early session with your trainer, so you had that early. Fennel in the morning, maybe. Alright, yeah, no worries about that. Totally understandable. 2020? What do you mean 2020, Aniv? That was 4 years ago. Almost 5, actually. Wow, damn. Alright, yeah. Muz, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Anyway, let's try to continue with this. Not so fast. Indeed, we are now more certain than ever that Simeon Saint was the murderer. And that only he could have moved Mr. Knight from his holding cell to the prison proper. By the way, this is Judge Mommy, as you can see. We shall prove this to you beyond a shadow of doubt. But first, a question. Are you quite determined to continue on this course, Mr. Edgeworth? Should you fail to rebut our deductions, there will be no going back. Your very career hangs in the balance. What? You mean you'll take his badge if you don't like how this goes? That's intimidation. Not at all. If anything, I am showing him mercy. This is not Mr. Edgeworth's case. It never was. And I am under no obligation to hear him out. If he is prepared to accept the potential ramifications of his actions, I will allow him one last chance. Well, are you truly willing to take the risk? To put your beloved badge on the line? I think it's time to save. Confrontation, Verity Gavel. Yo, wandering abroad, Judge Awuga. Yes, it's Mommy Judge. Definitely in the top 5 in the Ace Attorney Boob ranking. Mr. Edgeworth. Sir. I accept your terms. I'm confident of my reasoning, and that's more. I am representing the firm of Edgeworth & Co. And I do not intend to besmirch its name. Wow. Alright, sorry. Very well, let us see whether you are brave or simply reckless. By the power vested in me by the almighty goddess of justice, let this judgment commence. Eustace, if you will allow me. Fine by me. He's all yours, Gavel. How a Knight wound up in the prison proper. You're aware of the incident involving Mr. Knight the day before yesterday, I assume. This doesn't seem like Allegro yet, so there's probably more. He assaulted an innocent guard and stole his keys. Later, in the middle of moving a large animal cage, Mr. Saint stopped by Mr. Knight's cell for a little visit. That's when Mr. Knight stole out of his cell using the keys he'd stolen. He slipped into the cage and there he hid as he was wheeled into one of the prison workshops. I figure she was going to bring up Mr. Saint going to Knight's cell. Okay. What do we have of... They have yet to be recovered. So we don't know where the keys are yet. And there's the missing guard uniform. Can we... I don't think we can view the security footage. Yesterday, after you so kindly made us aware of the security camera footage, we decided to take a look at it ourselves. Perhaps you would like to see what we found. Oh, okay. This is still from the footage we received. Holy shit. Mr. Saint speaking with Knight at his cell. Correct. You'll also note that he has positioned the cage in such a way as to obscure the camera's view. It is this blind spot that Mr. Knight exploited in order to enter the cage undetected. A sound deduction based on what can be observed wouldn't say. A blind spot, which means that the camera wouldn't have been able to capture the moment Knight entered the cage if he did at all. So it's still possible that he didn't actually leave his cell at this point. I don't get it. Why would Mr. Knight want to hide in the cage? There's really only one possibility. He intended to escape. A prison break, that's so cool. Mr. Carcerado, Mr. Knight, everybody's doing it. I have to step up my game. Okay, now is really not the time. Mr. Carcerado's escape is no laughing matter. It is my belief that Mr. Saint helped Mr. Knight with his escape attempt. That is to say, he was his accomplice. Wow, go Simeon. That wasn't a compliment. I understand that the cage was briefly taken to one of the workshops. I imagine that had things gone to plan, Mr. Knight would have remained in the cage until after the show, and then removed from the premises along with the rest of the circus's equipment. Unfortunately for Mr. Knight, Mr. Saint had other ideas. He killed his friend in cold blood. Judge Gavel's argument seems reasonable, but there must be a fault in her logic somewhere, and I'm going to find it. You're aware of the incident involving Mr. Knight the day before yesterday. Hold it! Your Honor, about this incident. You have heard about it, of course. Surely any attorney worth his salt would have his sources. Yes, I am aware of it, of course. I simply wish to Overruled? Then you are wasting both our time. Shall we continue? Excuse me. He had assaulted an innocent guard and stole his keys. Do you have any proof that Knight stole the keys? I can think of no other reason for him to carry out such a brutal attack. Once the guard he assaulted regains consciousness, I am sure he will confirm our suspicions. I wouldn't be so sure. Perhaps I should press her further in her reasoning. Sorry, but I believe there's a flaw in your reasoning. If Knight had the keys, there was nothing to stop him from leaving whenever he wanted. Why wait for Mr. Saint? There was no need, surely. He chose the option he deemed most likely to succeed. He stole the keys and hid them somewhere, then waited for an opportune moment to present itself. He hid the keys? I am afraid you have made an uncharacteristic oversight, Your Honor. Knight wasn't hiding any keys that has been proven already. This is the piece of evidence proves Knight doesn't have the keys. It's actually the keys because they haven't been found.
Take that!
Since you know about the incident, I assume you must already know this, but after the assault, the guards searched both Knight and his cell and no keys were found. And if the whereabouts of the keys cannot be proven, then neither can your theory. I have considered the matter of the missing keys, and I do not think it's such an issue. I still believe he had them. After all, the guards only stated that they were unable to locate them. And this is because they were cleverly hidden inside the pocket chess set. Knight's chess set, the same set in which the murder weapon was also allegedly hidden? Was it? I can't help but wonder about that. What? But you're the one who proposed it. Actually, if you recall, that was Eustace's assertion. So the two of them aren't of one mind on this, I think. Allow me to restate the facts. Mr. Knight hid the keys he stole from the guard inside his chess set. It's not in the chess set, we already opened the chess set, right? When Mr. Saint came to see him, Mr. Knight used the keys to open his cell and climbed inside the cage. He was then moved from his holding cell to that workshop in the prison proper, all with the help of his friend and accomplice. Had things gone according to plan, he would have been taken out of the facility after the show. But they did not. Instead, his accomplice murdered him while the show was taking place in the yard.
Objection!
But Mr. Saint was a part of that performance. How would he even have had time to commit the murder? How indeed? Allow me to explain. As you know, many stage performers follow a set narrative. Yesterday's show was one such example. She's done her homework, I see. The suspect played the role of the antagonist opposite the elephantine hero of the show. In the latter part of the performance, the heroine's love prevails and the villain is defeated. This victory is depicted in a very unique manner, whereby the villain is sent flying from the stage by the heroine. He's sent flying by the elephant? Isn't that dangerous? Having been ejected from the stage in this manner, the villain no longer appears in the performance. In other words, the suspect did not appear on stage for a period of approximately 15 minutes. And you're saying the crime took place during that time? Yes, I'm afraid so. After all, it's more than a sufficient window, wouldn't you say? Committing the crime and returning to the stage in that short 15-minute window is only possible, assuming that the murder took place in the prison proper. But in fact, Your Honor, the real scene of the crime was Knight's cell. I seem to remember telling you that I would not accept that part of the security footage into evidence.
Objection!
And you won't have to. I have proof of a different kind. Very well, would you be so good as to present it? What proof do you have that the murder took place in the victim's holding cell? It's the floor with the blood.
Take that!
This appears to be a photograph of a floor? Almighty goddess of justice, grant me patience. That floor you're so dismissive of, Your Honor, has traces of Knight's blood on it. Eek! Traces, you say? Is this evidence reliable? After all, I don't believe you have access to the necessary forensics operatives.
Objection!
I have my resources. A certain blunt instrument, you might say, but a reliable one. The detective, how very unfortunate for him. Perhaps before you decided to circumvent the law, you might have considered that the committee's influence extends to the police. Ha ha ha. Oh no, now Gummy's badge is on the line too. Forgive me, detective, I didn't mean to put you at risk as well. I will enter the fact that Mr. Knight's blood was found in the holding cell into evidence. However...
Objection!
Bad luck, idiots. You're really on the edge now, Mr. Worthless. Mr. Winner, I'd forgotten you were there. Was Nice White outlasted? I just butted in to tell you that your entire argument is just one big inconsistency. You showed us camera footage of a dog killing Mr. Knight in his cell. Are you saying that the mutt also wiped the blood up before it left the scene? Uh-oh. What other tricks can it do, huh? A blood-wiping dog? You're a joke. Oh no, you'd have wiped that blood up, wouldn't you, boy? Yes, Helmut, yes you would. What? That was one of the tricks I taught him before our work together was rudely cut short. He's a very tidy boy, you know. Never misses a drop. It wouldn't do to leave any evidence after all. Saved by an assassin of all people. Jeez Louise, you could have just taught the little guy to shake hands. Oh, he does that marvelously too. Although, the way I taught him to do is somewhat unorthodox. First he bites down hard on the victim's hands, then... La 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 la, I'm not listening. I see. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. It seems you may have gathered some evidence worth considering. Your understanding... Wait, I'm not done yet. I just thought of something else. Overruled. Oh boy. Somebody's taking no prisoners. Eustace, would you be so kind as to allow me? All yours, Cavell. Well, do you accept the truth now? The crime took place in Knight's holding cell, and the assassin's dog was the killer. My position is the same as it was yesterday. Until you can explain how the dog moved between the prison and the detention center, I cannot accept your theory into evidence. I thought you might say that, which is why I'd like to show you something else. This piece of evidence shows how the dog could freely travel between the prison and the detention center. It's the tunnel.
Take that!
Eek! This is... It's a secret passageway that runs beneath the prison. What? A secret passageway? It was dug by one Mr. Rocco Carcerato, escapee. It leads from his prison cell to a certain holding cell in the detention center. Yes, the very one where the victim was being held. Well, this is certainly a surprise. To think that it was beneath our feet this entire time. Mr. Canis, you knew of this tunnel, didn't you? Because it's the same tunnel that was used to carry out the murder. In the name of the goddess of justice, overruled, Mr. Edgeworth. You are out of line. How so, Your Honor? Overruled. Evidence is everything, whether in a court of law or at the scene of an investigation. Isn't that your little catchphrase? Well, it just so happens that I have some evidence of my own. Bronco Knight's autopsy report. His autopsy report? When did we get that? How do you not know you had it? The police handed it to me only a short while ago. The findings are still preliminary, but it has something of value to tell us nonetheless. The goddess of justice speaks to us through these pages, Mr. Edgeworth. Cause of death, stab wound to the throat, and the weapon is said to be a sharp blade of some sort. It seems the victim was stabbed repeatedly in the same spot, resulting in an ugly wound. As such, the police have yet to identify the exact shape of the weapon. Wow. But its overall nature seems to be beyond question. It is a bladed metal instrument. In light of this evidence, do you truly wish to continue with your flight of fancy? Or will you claim that the dog used a knife instead? But that's impossible. That will be all. This court is adjourned.
Objection!
But the tunnel, the paw prints. What of them? Helmut is something of a wanderer. Perhaps he just happened to cross this tunnel this one day. Although I couldn't say for certain, I myself cannot wander quite so freely. That would be quite a coincidence, but I can't prove it's not the case either. Sure, she knows how to keep a secret, huh? She sure knows how to keep a secret, huh? Kinda wish she'd kicked us in the teeth a little earlier with that. She was baiting me, waiting for the perfect moment to crush me with that autopsy report. And I fell for it. So, line and sinker. You are lead attorney for the defense, correct, Mr. Fender? This is the interim autopsy report in question. I do apologize for the delay. Yeah, no sweat. Thanks for hooking us up. Autopsy report. Woo! We finally have an autopsy report as evidence. Victim Bronco Knight, cause of death, stab wound to the throat, instant death, murder, sharp blade of some sort. Mr. Fender, a handshake is not necessary when receiving official court documents, you know? So please feel free to let go of my hand. It's not a holy relic after all. Was just trying to be friendly, Your Honor. Had you lingered a moment longer, the goddess of justice would have spoken to you through my gavel. Alright, I got it. Nice work, Gavel. Just, like we planned it. I did only as you instructed, Eustace, but thank you. This report came from the police. I have no choice but to accept its legitimacy. But if the dog didn't kill Knight, then that takes Canis out of the running. The goddess of justice speaks to me, Mr. Edgeworth, and she is merciful. She tells me that you might yet keep your badge if you will finally abandon this fruitless quest. What's our move, sir? I think she really means it this time. What do you think, detective? My answer remains the same, Judge Gavel. I will see my duty done, and I will not be intimidated. Even with how things stand, you still refuse to concede? This may very well be your last chance. Your badge hangs by a thread. Then let it fail if it must. I have something far more important to protect as an associate attorney. My client. The goddess of justice is no doubt saddened by your refusal to accept yet another offer of mercy. Attaboy, Miles. That's what I like to see. Looks like the defense never rests is really starting to mean something to you. Credit to your old man, though. He's the one who said it first. My father? In fact, I could swear I saw Gregory's spirit in you just... In fact, I could swear I saw Gregory's spirit in you for a second there. He said that you've changed since your days in Von Karma's shadow. I didn't believe you at first, but I'm starting to. Thank you, Fender. Alright, kids. This is where the rubber really hits the road. Put your thinking caps on, it's make or break time. If it's true that Knight was off with a bladed weapon, does our whole case really fall apart? A bladed weapon? Of course. There were 5 chisels in Canis' cell when we last looked. A former assassin certainly wouldn't struggle to commit murder with a tool like that. In which case, the weapon that killed Knight was... Have you quite finished? It would be in your best interest to concede... Sorry, just give me a sec. Okay. Evidence is everything. It may well be my little catchphrase, but it's also true. So the murder weapon was a sharp blade. Then where is it? The guards didn't find it. Why can't you let this go? So what if they didn't find it? What are you driving at? What if I were to tell you that I now know what the real murder weapon was? And it was right under our noses the whole time, indeed. It was one of Mr. Canis' chisels. Wow, this is a Deus Ex Machina move. What? I would advise you to stop bombarding us with your irresponsible half-baked theories, Mr. Edgeworth. You have repeatedly insisted that Mr. Knight was killed in his cell by a dog. I simply go where the evidence takes me, both in the courtroom and at the scene of a crime. If the murder weapon was in fact a chisel, then yes, the murderer could not have been the dog. The murderer could not have been the dog. But that begs the question of what exactly it was we saw in the security footage. Oh yeah, the security footage. How do you explain that, Mr. Smarty Pants? An excellent question. The footage shows... the dog jumping on somebody. Mr. Canis' dog jumping up at Knight. The dog attacked Knight, but he didn't kill the man. He didn't? No. Knight was merely knocked out. The dog didn't drag a corpse through the tunnel. He dragged an alive but unconscious Knight. The real killer was the dog's master. Ooh, I get it. By bringing Knight here, Mr. Canis could finish the job. And he could definitely use one of his chisels to do it. Correct. You, Bodhidharma Canis, you're the only one who could have done it. Hehe.
Objection!
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, you ever get this on your report card? Refuses to listen, must learn to respect others. Are you asking me or confessing to what's on yours? We already searched Mr. Canis' cell from top to bottom, right, Gavel? We even expected his chisels, all 4 of them. Wait, where's the 5th? There was a 5th chisel here, right? Okay, the chisel wasn't in the... The chisel with the bell. There wasn't a single speck of blood. Why, thank you, Your Honor. You have just confirmed my theory. I have? What exactly do you mean? The last time we were here, there were 5 chisels, not 4. Oh yeah, I remember counting them. Definitely 5. And the one that's missing is... the small one. The one we thought might be a pocket chisel. Mr. Canis, where did you hide that chisel? A pocket chisel? And what use might I have for such a thing, I am rarely allowed to leave my cell. In which case, you shouldn't have had the chance to dispose of the weapon. Heh, you've dug your own grave, Mr. Canis. You seem to have an idea where this missing chisel might be, Mr. Edgeworth. Would you enlighten us? For a man who can't leave his cell of his own volition, Canis could have only hidden the chisel here. Oh my god, wait! It's still in the area. Mr. Canis is still a prisoner despite the comfort he enjoys. He is rarely allowed out of his cell. He could have given the chisel to his dog to leave somewhere, but that would have been far from ideal. He would have no way of guaranteeing where it might end up. Intriguing. Do go on, Mr. Edgeworth. Furthermore, this room is the only place where a bladed instrument wouldn't raise an eyebrow. 4 chisels, 5 chisels, who's counting? The fact he took full advantage of. Ah, the old keep the incriminating evidence close routine. Classic.
Objection!
But I looked. I searched the whole cell myself, and there's just nowhere he could have hidden it.
Objection!
I am certain that the murder weapon is here, and that the reason why no one has found it yet is because it was hidden in such an ingenious manner. Hehe. Do enlighten us, Mr. Edgeworth. What was my ingenious plan? Think, Miles, there must be a hiding spot he could make use of. Think about when you came here previously. What are you missing? He's not showing us out permanently, right? Let's get out of here, come on. It's with the dog. The dog. He hasn't made a sound today. When we were here before, he barked and growled repeatedly. Canis even encouraged him to do so. That must be it. I knew something was off. can hardly believe it, but I think I know where he hid the murder weapon. Giving up already? I expected more of you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hold it!
As well as you should. If you would give me a moment. For this piece of evidence shows where you hid the murder weapon. It's the dog? Oh my god, I can't save, damn it. Okay, what's my history here?
Take that!
Your dog. He seems unusually quiet today. Oh yeah, unlike last time when... Mr. Canis, if you would be so kind as to open Helmut's mouth. Oh, come now. He hasn't barked because he is a well-behaved boy. I had to order him last time. And order him again, this instant. It's not like we're asking for the world, Mr. Canis. Or do you have something to hide? If you insist. Come on, Helmut. Open up. And there we have it. A chisel that small was easy enough for a dog. What? A chisel in the dog? Why is there a chisel in the dog? I thought he'd be strangely quiet. I guess his brain has finally caught up. Eustace. Why don't you be a good boy and call forensics? Tell them it's urgent. Okay. Luminol test. Our findings are as follows. Traces of blood were detected on the chisel. What? Not such a half-baked theory after all, was it? Alright, so we're all on the same page here. This is our murder weapon, yeah? The forensics evidence cannot be ignored. We have no choice but to concede that this is most likely the case. Mr. Canis, in light of the discovery of the murder weapon, the court demands that you explain yourself. We found the route your dog took to the holding cells, and now we have the chisel. How do you propose to talk your way out of this one? You never fail to entertain, Mr. Edgeworth. Why does he always laugh like that, even when it's not funny? Poor Helmut. How could they expect us? You leave me little choice. I shall simply have to share with you the truth. I did not kill anyone. I have grown tired of killing. Something's not right. Why is he so calm? Very well. The court will hear Mr. Canis' testimony. If you would be so kind. Gladly. Perhaps you might begin by explaining what you believe my motive to have been. I never knew this knight. I had no contact with him. No connection whatsoever. The chess thing. Given that this is the case, why would I possibly wish him dead? Could it be you're suggesting that it was my canine companion who had the motive instead? Helmut only bears his fangs when I tell him to. I am not so bloodthirsty that I would kill a man I did not know. Alright, where is the chess thing? What next? Rook? No. Pawn to g6. I mean, when he puts it that way... An assassin who only kills his acquaintances? Not the soundest business model, I agree. My work required me to deal with strangers, of course. But murder for its own sake? That's not my style. So I need to prove a link between Knight and Canis. I should go over the evidence again and see what I can discover. Perhaps you might begin what...
Hold it!
I'm puzzled by this focus on motive. Aren't you an assassin? Heh. Assassination or not, Mr. Edgeworth, I do not spill blood for nothing. Neither in a professional nor in a private capacity. That's just not how it's done, is it, boy? I never knew this knight. I had no contact with him, no connection whatsoever.
Hold it!
You didn't know who he was? That's quite unlike you, Mr. Canis. You overestimate me, Mr. Edgeworth. Perhaps you had a harder time putting me in here than I had realized, but I am no master criminal. That said, you are no run-of-the-mill prisoner either. You're the fixer, correct? I find it highly unlikely that a man in such a position would have no knowledge of the new detainee at all. Heh. Then you have a rather inflated idea of my position. I have my connections, yes, but I am not all-knowing. And I knew nothing of Mr. Knight.
Hold it!
You're an assassin. Since when have you needed a motive? He's a strange man, isn't he, Helmut? Yes, he is. Is he a fool? A genius? It's so hard to say. Drop the act, Canis, and answer the question. No, you will answer mine. Who am I, Mr. Edgeworth? I am the very same person you caught. An assassin, a murderer for hire. Were I one to kill without rhyme or reason, I would still be free to recite sutras in peace out there.
Hold it!
Okay, I think I have audio delay again, sorry. But what is this man talking about, Helmut? Why would he say such an awful thing about you? He's a silly man. That's what it is, yes. And perhaps he killed the wrong person. That would explain the lack of motive. Do your precious police dogs attack people willy-nilly? Have some respect, Mr. Edgeworth. If you are going to accuse Helmut of something, at least show us some evidence to back up your claims. What if I had any? Helmut only bears his fangs when I tell him.
Hold it!
Then you must have done so, didn't you? You ordered Knight's death. Hehe. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you'll have to try harder than that. Have you forgotten what I just said? I did not know Mr. Knight. I do not even know that name. If you're going to insist otherwise, then the least you can do is show us some sort of proof. He must show us some proof, mustn't he, Helmut? Yes, he must. Whether it was Canis or his dog that committed the killing, Knight would be dead if Canis himself had it wanted him to. So my first order of business should be to prove that Canis and Knight need each other. Okay. I need to present here the chess diagram.
Objection!
You're getting sloppy, Mr. Canis. You may have trained your dog to clean up your mess, but some things still require a human touch. We found this in the victim's room. It's the record of a game of correspondence chess. What's more, the game depicted matches the game laid out on your board. What? The number of possible games had been calculated to be 10 to the power of 120, and that's on the low end. Wait, so that's 10 times 10, 120 times over? 10, 100, 1000? I give up. I mean, what do you even call a number that big? A vanishingly unlikely coincidence, that's what. Now, tell us why you killed Knight. Unless that is, you would prefer to explain the coincidence? Hehehe. Well, they do say that truth is stranger than fiction. It is, as you say, a coincidence. But that's totally impossible. We just proved that. A coincidence of a different kind, child. I never imagined my correspondence was the victim, you see. And yet here we are. Helmut is as surprised as I am. Aren't you, Helmut? Yes. I suppose there's nothing for it but to finally tell the truth, boy? The other prisoners had all gone to the yard, you see. Was there milkshake? There was a show of some sort, I believe. Here was I was, minding my own business when it comes Helmut dragging a corpse of all things. I had quite the shock, not least because the murder weapon was still in the poor fellow's neck. Of course, I was none too keen on becoming a suspect, so I had Helmut take the body to the workshop. Once there, he removed the murder weapon and brought it back to me just as I asked. The dog pulled out the murder weapon in the workshop? Indeed he did. Removing it here would have made an awful mess after all. You know something? That makes total sense. Remember what Mr. Sawit said, Mr. Edgeworth? That huge black dog had sunk his terrible teeth into the victim's throat. Alright, so Sawit was telling the truth. I see, so what Mr. Sawit actually saw was Helmut removing the murder weapon then. Precisely. I can't say I wasn't a little disappointed that he was spotted, of course. Silly boy, it's not like you to slip up like that, is it now? And there you have it. That is about all there is to tell. I did not kill the man. At most, I am responsible for the removal of the weapon. Now, will that be all? Poor Helmut is growing restless. Sorry, but if you could entertain us for just a little longer, Mr. Canis. Fender? No offense, Palio, but I don't think you've quite told us everything. I'm sure we'd all like to know why you thought you needed to pull the chisel out in the first place. He's right. It makes sense that he would move the body to avoid suspicion. But Canis had no reason at all to recover the murder weapon. So, the mute one isn't as dumb as I thought. Please answer the question, Mr. Canis. It was because of the bell. The one attached to the chisel and the one around Helmut's neck. Have a very distinctive design, if you will. Of course, they were something of a trademark of yours, were they not? I don't get it. How does that even work? Bodhidharma Canis, the blind butcher, his appearance was always announced by the sound of bells. The last sound his victims would ever hear... Yeah, you flatter me. Though it's been some years since you last saw one of them, you remember them well. Your knife and its attached bell were one of the pieces of evidence seized in our case against you. Yes, it was but one of my bells. One of only two in existence. Just two? Two and only two. One for my knife and one for my beloved Helmut. Exquisitely crafted, utterly unique. My ears are my guide after all, and I must be able to use my tools precisely. Of course, as you said, the knife has long since been taken from me. Alright, okay, why are we having more evidence, which means that this case is very long ass. When Helmut brought the body to my cell, I was rather surprised to hear a familiar sound. At first, I was sure that my knife had been used to do the deed. But no, a chisel. An ordinary chisel. It's certainly no assassin's blade. Nonetheless, the bell would have suggested my involvement. Oh, holy crap. Shadow Biju. Thank you for the raid. How are you doing? Welcome on in. Were you doing SMW? No, you're playing RuneScape. How was it? Raiders from Biju stream, welcome to it. Got to raid me for once. Yo, thank you. Biju, thank you very much. I was actually hoping that you'd go on for a little longer and I'd be raiding you later on, but yeah, I really do appreciate it. I'd be raiding you, but this case is still ongoing. Anyway. I was playing RuneScape Leagues. Nice. We'll probably switch back tomorrow next week. Nice. Looking forward to it. Anyway, everyone coming in from Biju stream, welcome on in. I really do appreciate you dropping by. If you don't know me, my name is Psycho. I'm a streamer from the Philippines. I'm a variety streamer. Play Mario primarily, but tonight we are playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2 in the second case, and it is very long ass, and it's like twisting all around and very convoluted. We don't know who the killer is. But yeah. Alright, it's not Shelly the Killer. The killer's out. Shelly the Killer's out there. Alright. Compounding the matter is the fact that I am the only person in this prison permitted to use such tools. It was clear that I would become the prime suspect, and so the chisel had to be removed and
Hold
hidden.
it!
You still claim that all you did was have the dog move the body, that you had nothing to do with the killing? You can't believe it's not the killer. Of course. The killer's not in this case. Yet. How could I? I told you, the chisel is not mine. You need not take my word, Mr. Edgeworth. Why not have checked it for fingerprints? Eustace. Huh? Me? But I don't know how to check for prints. Get forensics. Oh, right. Sure thing. My god, this other person's so incompetent. We got him. Fingerprints. They're Mr. Knight's. And Mr. Canis's? Nope. Just Mr. Knight's. Oh, and for success, there's no sign of any prints having been wiped off. Only Knight's fingerprints. This isn't good. Should I get them to check again? Now do you see? I've never so much as touched that chisel. Helmut carried it in his mouth, that is all. Therefore, any prints must belong to whoever had it last. So the murder weapon belonged to the victim? Ooh, that's not helpful. As I said, I have not touched the chisel. Therefore, I cannot be the killer. Or do you wish to suggest otherwise? I've got nothing to counter with. But what could this mean? Is he not the killer after all? Is he actually telling the truth? No, he can't be. I'm sure this goes without saying, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you do not find a solution to your current predicament and quickly, I will have little choice but to relieve you of your badge. Even my patience has a limit, and I will not tolerate you throwing this investigation into chaos. You've done it now, sir. She's serious. I hate to admit it, but fingerprints turned everything on its head. Without more evidence, I'm back to square one. Wait, something doesn't add up. A few things, actually. What would Mr. Knight have needed a chisel for? You can do a lot with a chisel, child. Break out of prison, for one. Alright, then how did it get in here? There's no way the guards would let him bring a super sharp tool in with him, right, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the chess set. Hey, Earth to Mr. Edgeworth. You can't stand there hemming and hawing just because of a little setback. The important thing is finding the truth, you know? Doesn't matter how we get there, as long as we save Simeon in the end. We can't give up now, or ever. Yeah, what she said. I'll second that. You won me around with that, Kay. I'm half tempted to offer you a job for real. It's like I said, the defense never rests. We need to do the air quotes. Or rather, like your pop said, what do you think lies at the heart of those words, Miles? Any guesses? The heart of those words. It's like this. As defense attorneys, our client's fate rests on our shoulders. We're the ones they can turn to. Simeon's our client, and we're the only ones who can save him. So we can't rest, not while he's counting on us. I'm not about to turn my back on your old man's legacy. Are you? I'm an associate with the defense now. No, I'm an associate with my father's firm. That's the role I have chosen, and that means that if I fail to save my client, I have failed in my duties. I will honor my father's vision and save Simeon Saint. No matter what setbacks I face, I cannot admit defeat. If one path is blocked, I must simply find another. There we go! That's the Miles Edgeworth I know. Now let's find that new path forward. We can start by trying to figure out how Mr. Knight brought that chisel into the prison. Right. How would Knight have managed to bring a chisel in here?
Take
Chess
that!
set. Usually, it wouldn't be possible to bring a metal object into this facility undetected. Because of the security gates, right? Correct. But we already know that checks at one of the gates haven't been entirely thorough of late. Namely, the gate at the entrance to the detention center. That gate is only used to scan people. Any items they bring into the facility are only subject to a cursory check. Are you telling me that Chesset wasn't put through the metal detector? Should have been. Alas, it seems the guards have grown a little lax in that regard of late. Knight took advantage of this little oversight and had Mr. Saint bring him the chisel, hidden inside of his pocket chest set. That does answer one of her questions, and it suggests that the chisel was indeed Mr. Knight's and not Mr. Canis's. However, we still have one rather pressing problem to address. That one of the security footage in which Knight is attacked by a dog. How does one explain it if Mr. Canis was not the culprit? But then, how do you explain his prints not being on the murder weapon? This one's a real three-piper. The court too finds itself wanting for a satisfactory explanation. Wait, sir, I think it might be time to show you another one of my secret weapons. Introducing secret weapon 934, Lil V. What sort of name is that, detective? I came up with it myself, sir. Anyway, you can use it to analyze the video footage. An excellent idea. Perhaps then you might finally see that I am telling the truth. Who knows if there's anything to be found, but it has to be worth a try. Alright, want me to talk you through how to use it? Oh my god. Seeing as I'm not exactly familiar with video analysis techniques, perhaps I should hear him out. Sure, why not? If you could run me through its functions, detective, that will be most appreciated. Yes, sir. So basically, you just gotta do what you always do. Examine anything that catches your eye, and I can examine things with X, I see. Next up, see those controls at the bottom of the screen? The panels on the left and right let you rewind or fast forward. You can use the middle one to pause. Get used to those and you're golden, sir. Seems I can also press R to fast forward or L to rewind, and A to pause. When the video is paused, you can go to the previous frame with L or the next frame with R. Or just use the same control panels I showed you earlier. Lastly, I'd better explain how to zoom in. Just line up the old cursor with the area you want to take a closer look at, then use the panel on the bottom right, and little V will do the rest. It's got two expanding arrows right on it. Can't miss it, sir. I can zoom in by pressing Y too. Alright. By the way, even when you're zoomed in, you can still examine stuff just like in regular view. You can also make use of previous and next frame. Only thing you can't do when you're zoomed in is play the footage, so there's that. I see, and how do I zoom out again? Just the panel on the lower right. See how it's gone from expanding to collapsing? That about sums it up. Now let's fire little V up for real. Remember, just examine anything that catches your eye and you'll be fine. Footage from Knight's holding cell. Other than the victim being attacked by that dog, I can see what else it might show us. Suppose we're wrong. What could we be looking at instead? Could the person in footage be someone other than Knight? And if so, could whoever is attacking them be something else too? Should keep both questions in mind while reviewing the footage. Never know what you're gonna see once you start looking at things up close. Check every detail, sir. You'll find something, I'm sure. Okay, this reminds me of like the freaking Blue Badger footage in like Rise from the Ashes from Ace Attorney 1. What in this footage seems odd? I must be seeing things. I should take another look, and if nothing seems off at first glance, zooming in might help. The devil is in the details after all. What? Okay, it's weird because... Ah, shoot. Okay, it's definitely like this. The figure is reflected in the mirror here too. Is that a hat? Say, it doesn't look like the hats the guards wear. Oh jeez, is that what I think it is? Have there been reports of one of the animals attacking a guard recently? Not that I've heard of. So this may not be a guard at all, but someone dressed as one. Perhaps this might shed a little light on the matter in the hat, because there was a missing uniform.
Take that!
So, no guards have reported being attacked by an animal as far as we know. But we did hear about a guard's spare uniform being stolen. Could the person in the security footage perhaps be someone disguised as a guard? Someone attempting to escape without being noticed? Guard disguise, I guess it might work. Wait, weren't we just talking about someone? We were indeed, someone who seemed to have successfully made his escape. If the person in the footage isn't Knight, then the creature may not be a dog either. You're right, sir. Let's zoom in and check. Sure, look. I suspect we may have made a critical error of judgment. What we're looking at here is no dog. This animal is a bear. It's like Carcerato's bear. What? So the paw prints from the photo I took were not canine but ursine. A bear? So could that mean... Yes, I think it could. After all, who else do we know with such a pet? We had assumed that it was Knight in the security footage. Well, it was his cell. It's hardly a crazy theory. Perhaps, but now that we know about the hole under the bed, it's no longer the only possibility. Whoever had access to the tunnel could very well be the one caught on camera. And who was that, Mr. Edgeworth? Would you care to tell the court who you believe this person to be? The person in the security footage is Carcerato.
Take that!
I believe I know who our guard in disguise is. It's none other than Rocco Carcerato, a prisoner who recently escaped from this facility. I'm confident it's him because he was assigned a polar bear cub as his companion. But the bear in that video is all black. Indeed. And we have evidence that explains why.
Take that!
Is it the rubber glove? Okay, yes, it is. Recall, if you will, Mr. Frank saw its testimony. That's the rubber glove I dropped. Okay, he was doing like mud packs for the animals. He's giving one of the animals a mud pack right when the incident happened. I see. Around what time would this happen? Let's see. The show had already started, so around 9 AM perhaps. The thing is, the more mud I applied, the more in the zone I got, and the darker the animal's fur became. There's no trance quite like the trance once enters when one slathers an animal with thick black mud. While the circus performance was underway, he was giving one of the animals a mud pack treatment. And that animal could have been, indeed, our polar bear. Mr. Edgeworth, your latest assertion simply introduces yet another contradiction. The footage from the security camera... I fully understand, Your Honor, and your doubts are entirely justified. Mr. Sawit mentioned applying the mud pack while the circus performance was underway. And this does introduce a new contradiction concerning the security footage. It does? Yes, let's put it this way. When would you expect the footage to have been recorded, Kay? If it was taken right after he applied the mud pack treatment, it should have been around 9 AM. In which case, something isn't right about the footage. Really? And what's that? What new contradiction does the security footage introduce relative to when it was recorded? What's the time?
Take that!
Mr. Sawit said he administered the treatment at around 9 AM. In which case, the security footage should also show a time of around 9. However, the time says 6:42 AM. On the day of the murder, prisoners all went out to the yard to watch the circus. All except 3. Canis, who remained in his cell, Sawit, who was administering a mud pack treatment at the workshop, and Rocco Carcerato, who had been awaiting that precise moment to put his escape plan into action. I believe he entrusted the bear to Mr. Sawit before entering the tunnel. Oh, and then he followed, and then the bear slipped out of Mr. Sawit's grasp to run after its human. And Mr. Sawit would have left the workshop to pursue the bear, at which point he saw Mr. Canis' dog retrieving the murder weapon from Knight's body. It all fits perfectly, except for the security footage, which should have been recorded from around 9 AM. However, the timestamp is 3 hours off. But why would the timestamp be wrong? Detective, I would like you to have the security camera examined right away, please. It's the mirror, right? I'm back, sir. I just talked to the guards and... Seems like the time codes can slip on these cameras if they lose power. What? They're pretty old, sir. Guess the clock stops and the power's off. Which would mean the power was off for approximately 3 hours at some point. That's not all, sir. You remember how Knight denied stealing the keys? No one believed him considering, well, you know, he seemed kinda like the only suspect. Turns out that wasn't all he said. He also said he was knocked out cold just like the other guy. Which may not necessarily have been a lie. Darlings, there you all are. How goes the investigation? Is there anything I can do to help things along? Actually, there might be something we can do for you, Warden Lagarde. The escapee, Mr. Carcerato, I believe, may still be on the premises. He is disguised as a guard. Here's the proof, should you need it. We're reasonably certain that the person captured on this tape is our man. And if I am correct, he might even be right here in this room with us now. Hey, Mr. Carcerato should have been wearing a bracelet, right? Yes, a bracelet that could easily be hidden under the sleeves of his stolen uniform. Furthermore, the doors out of the prison proper don't have those sensors that detect the bracelets installed. So if he avoided doors with sensors, he could simply wait for an opportunity to finally make his escape. Well, yes, I suppose he could. He'd just have to avoid the workshop and the cells and... Oh my. He's one of you, isn't he? He's here right now. Look, it's Teddy. Oh my god. Hey, pass off. Get your mitts off me, you big palooka. Thank you, Teddy. Very kind of you to confirm our suspicions. Honestly, I expected it to be the guard on the right. Dang it, kid. If it wasn't for you, Ida. What a thing it is to be loved, huh, Mr. Carcerato? I'm almost envious. Guards, apprehend this man. A moment, if you will. I have some questions for our would-be escapee. If you are to learn the truth, I will need to speak with him, with your permission, of course. I can hardly say no now, can I? Well, come on then. Hit me with your best shot. Mr. Carcerato's escape route led directly into Knight's cell, so it's highly possible he has something to offer. Tell me what you were doing on the day Knight's body was discovered. Oh no, another room. Okay, it's now Allegro. So it was you guys, huh? You were the ones who found my secret getaway tunnel. You know how long it took me to dig that freaking thing? I had me a guard's uniform, a hole dug, and a plan in place. So I went for it on the day you found the guy. But then this little guy just had to come right after me. The sack of fur was covered in mud too. Had to go back to her cell. Would have gotten away for it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. I would have gotten away with it if somebody hadn't offered off Night and brought you bumps down here. You claim to have dug that tunnel just now. How exactly did you do it? How? Used everything I could to get my hands on. See? Hammer, spoons, you name it. Spent every dime I had on this cockamy fixer. And what do I got to show it for now, huh? Do not be disheartened, friend. Tomorrow is another day. There's an outside chance Carcherato and Knight met face to face just before Knight's death. I should see what other details I can extract from him. So it was you guys, so you're the ones who found my secret getaway tunnel. The tunnel, shut up! Who are you telling to hold it? The tunnel, you said, you don't know nothing. You don't know what I had. Had to come crawling into the fixer mock. Had to grovel and count out day after day after day. How you gonna give me back the hours, huh? The days, the months? Get a word in edgewise. You should have never stuck your noses in my tunnel. Never.
Hold it!
So the tunnel was all your own work? Every inch. You see anyone else in my cell when you wasn't there? That's quite an effort, even for an athlete. Yeah, now that I think of it, that is an insane amount of digging for one guy. Yeah, well, you don't even know the half of it, kid. But it ain't like I had a choice. Trust nobody and don't get caught. Them's the rules of cons gotta live by. You know, the rules of being a great thief are pretty similar. Okay, I'd rather you didn't start sympathizing with the suspect. I was just joking, Mr. Edgeworth. It ain't no stinking joke to me. You punks owe me. I had my guard's uniform, a whole dug, and a plan in place, so I went for it on the day you found the guy.
Hold it!
The uniform, was that from the fixer too? Uh-huh, sure was. Heard he had something on one of the guards. Had a guy swipe it from a pal's locker. And were you wearing it when you were crawling through the tunnel? Nope, but I got dirt on it. Had to hold it until the holding cell. Once I was out of there and all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake. Okay, we still have the keys. The keys were never found. Here we go, I think freedom beckons, and then the furball here jumps on me. Which would be the moment captured on camera. I see. I'd be grateful if you could add that to your testimony.
Hold it!
Opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake, you say? Sure, anything seems easy after dragging yourself through a hole in the ground. And you were familiar with the layout of the detention center, even though you live in the prison? Why wouldn't I be? It ain't like I'd never been there before. If he's familiar with the detention center, then he'd surely be aware that unlike the doors in the main prison, the holding cell doors are locked with actual keys. And I'm sure Mr. Carcherato would have needed that particular piece of evidence to make his escape. Alright, it's definitely the set of keys.
Hold it!
Let's just press the rest of the statements. When was it that you realized you were being pursued? Right when I got it out of the tunnel. Right when I thought I was home free. Didn't notice anything before that? When you were in the tunnel, perhaps? Nah, he wasn't around. Made sure of it. The little guy would have been all over me like a rash if he had been. So close, I could smell it. And then there he was, little bump. Hey, don't you think you're being a little mean to your friend, poor Teddy? Mean nothing. He rumbled me last time, and now he's rumbled me again. Gets all over me. What am I supposed to do? Coming after me yesterday was bad enough.
Hold it!
You didn't consider trying to escape with Teddy? What if I coulda, but all that mud would have given us away. Chance to break out the slammer don't exactly grow in trees, pal. When one comes along, you gotta do it right. Followed by the one who loves him most. It's almost tragic. There's an outside chance Mr. Carcherato and I met face to face just before his murder. I I should listen carefully to each of his statements and look over the evidence we have. Alright, it's definitely the keys. Okay, I need to present the keys here.
Objection!
You claim that leaving the holding cell would have been a piece of cake, as you put it. Yeah, got a problem with that? Because we can't make it a problem if you catch my drift. Even once you had reached Knight's cell, you still had another door to contend with. How exactly did you plan on opening it? Mr. Carcherato, I poised that leaving the cell would have been a piece of cake, only because you had the key. I don't got no stinking key. I didn't need one. It was a piece of cake cause the door was open. I walked right out.
Objection!
Yes, I suppose Knight's cell was vacant by that point. There wouldn't have been no reason to lock it. And it was indeed unlocked when I went to examine it for myself. So perhaps when you finally succeeded today, it was truly unlocked because it was after the murder. But you had attempted to escape previously. Yeah, the security footage shows when you tried and failed custody caught you, which was during the circus performance before the body was discovered. The holding cell was still locked at that time because no one knew that Knight had been killed yet. Therefore, you must have had the key to this cell on you. Without it, your escape would not have been possible. Grah! Are you saying, could he really have? I believe he could, yes. The theft of the keys was in fact perpetrated by none other than Mr. Carcherato. He's the one who attacked the guard. Oh, because he was there in the cell. But not just the guard, Knight too, all to gain possession of the guard's keys. It wasn't me, you lousy bum. I didn't even know this Knight guy. After you stole the keys, you went back to your cell to avoid suspicion. And then you waited for the perfect moment to escape. A moment when the person would be almost deserted. That's right, the moment of the show, just before the discovery of the body. Unluckily for you, that particular attempt was thwarted by your furry friend. Says who, huh? You got proof, genius? This ain't your win yet. Nah. Knight knocked the guard out of the count and everybody knows it. Don't play games with me. Knight was as much as a victim as the guard in this case. As a matter of fact, I have proof that Knight had been attacked in his cell. It's the floor.
Take that!
We found traces of Knight's blood on the cleanly wiped floor of his cell. What could possibly explain such a thing other than him having been attacked? And it was you who attacked him. You ambushed the both of them and stole the keys. Grah! Why, I oughta... What's with you, huh? That newspaper wiped that blood up good. Ain't no way you should have found it. Okay, he's admitting it. Okay, but why did you think you had to wipe it up anyway? If they checked Knight and the guard's hands, they would have seen those two never came to blows. But that blood would give up the whole game. Ain't no way they don't figure there was a third man in the ring. Plus, once they started sniffing around on the floor, they found a tunnel in the heart of it. So you wiped up the blood to buy yourself a little more time so you could wait for a better opportunity? Sadly, the opportunity you sought wasn't good enough to get you clear of prison, it seems. Now, hand over the keys. Breakdown! Right in the kisser! What a breakdown. KO'd by a lousy stinking bum. Fine, you want keys here. Hope you choke on him. That's still a piece of evidence?
Overruled.
Wait a moment. If Mr. Carcherato here had the keys? Indeed, Your Honor. Your theory relies on Knight having used the keys he allegedly stole to escape his cell. That was the only way he would have been able to enter Mr. Saint's cage and be moved to the workshop. Unfortunately for you, we now know that theory cannot possibly be true. Aye. No. Yes, this changes things up a bit, yeah? Now the only person who could have moved Knight's body is the one person who knew about that tunnel. No, you gotta be freaking. Mr. Carcherato, you're under arrest. Come quietly now, pal. Wait, you got the wrong guy. I didn't do nothing. Alright, fine. I know I knocked those sleuth chumps out and I stole the keys. But after that, I went right back to my cell and waited for my moment. Next time I went to Knight's cell, there was nobody around, and I mean nobody. Plus, his body was found in the workshop. You think I just magicked my way in there or something? I couldn't even have gotten out of my cell. Indeed, you only had the key to Knight's cell. You couldn't have left your own cell back in the prison. But Mr. Canis's dog could. What? It was not you, but Helmut who moved the body from your cell to the workshop. I get it now. You're saying he wasn't the only con in this conspiracy? Indeed. Oh, one can easily imagine that Mr. Carcerato and Mr. Canis might have worked together. Mr. Carcerato could have killed Knight and dragged him back to his cell. And then Mr. Canis's dog took him from there to the workshop. There are no restrictions on the animal's movements within the prison. Movement between the detention center and the prison proper, however, is tightly controlled. There's only one possible route, and only you could have taken advantage of it, Mr. Carcerato. How can you be so sure, huh? Maybe there's more of them and you just don't know. Something tells me that digging even a single tunnel was arduous enough. You got that right. You try scraping more than one hole in dirt with a spoon? Lucky for me, I didn't have to dig the whole way. Somebody already did a bunch of the work for me. What? You didn't dig the entire tunnel yourself? Nope. Found it when they put me in that cell. Ran all the way from there to the well in the yard already. Oh, holy shit. Wait. Even looked down the well to check it from there. It was the same tunnel, alright? I just made good on what somebody else already started. Then what was the original tunnel for? Who knows? You're the one with all the answers, pal. Maybe somebody else tried to break out? Ooh, or maybe the animals dug it. Like to get water from the well or something. I've heard of more plausible scenarios than that in B-grade movies, Kay. Well, strike it. Ain't no water to be had down there. Though, come to think of it, a smell. Yeah, always smelled kinda nice down there. Nice? Gee, I don't know. Smelled sorta like dessert, I guess. A sweet scent. That sounds very familiar. Where did we come across a sweet scent before? The tunnel, right?
Take that!
I wonder if this might be the scent you smell. No. Oh, shoot. Nope. Ah, it was the body.
Take that!
Detective Gumshoe noticed a sweet smell when we were examining Knight's body. With the help of a police dog, we followed the scent of the body and traced its route back through the prison. And that, Mr. Carcerato, was how we found your tunnel. Could that same sweet scent be what you noticed coming from the well? Very clever, Mr. Edgeworth. You mean to suggest that this evidence of the body having been moved through the tunnel? I do. Furthermore, Mr. Carcerato, you are the only person who could have done it. Nobody else had access. You have our thanks, Mr. Carcerato, truly. Finally, the truth comes into view. Now unburden yourself. It is time. Confess your role in this tragic incident. Holy crap. She reminds me of like... Shoot, what was her name? Little Princess of Kurain. With like the Holy Mother and things like that. Although this game came first before that. So... What? You ain't pinning this on me. I'm glad to see that we are finally in agreement, Your Honor. Oh, if only we were, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Carcerato may have been an accomplice, but not of Mr. Canis. No, he was working with Mr. Knight.
Hold it!
What do you mean? I do not believe that he moved Mr. Knight's body. Instead, I believe that he lent Mr. Knight the use of the keys he stole. You gotta be kidding me. Granted, it seems likely that he attacked Mr. Knight, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Mr. Knight was knocked unconscious as a result. And what if he wasn't? What if he and Mr. Carcerato had reached a certain agreement? What kind of agreement exactly? Mr. Knight was plotting an escape for which he required means of leaving his cell. Excuse me. And here was that precise means in the form of the keys Mr. Carcerato had just stolen from the guard. Carcerato himself would need to pass through Mr. Knight's cell in order to effect his own escape. Mr. Knight needed only to shout and alert the guards and Mr. Carcerato's plans would be ruined. And so, the two struck a deal. Lady, the only striking I do is with my fists. My, still you deny it? So, we're agreeing that we still disagree? Mr. Knight had Mr. Carcerato unlock his cell so that when Mr. Saint arrived, he could escape into the cage. Mr. Saint was then able to move into the prison proper just as planned. Aha! And then he took Mr. Knight into the workshop and did the dirty deed. Were neither of you listening? The scent on Knight's body proves that it was taken through the tunnel. It was moved from his cell to the... Perhaps if you would let me finish, Mr. Edgeworth. I am not denying that Mr. Knight's body was moved through the tunnel. Then what are you driving at? Is this a trick question? As you say, Mr. Edgeworth, the sweet scent shows the route the body took. However, it did not enter the tunnel from Mr. Knight's cell. Huh? Then how did it get down there? There's another possibility, one you seem to have overlooked. The well in the yard. Could a body not have entered the tunnel from there? The well in the yard? Oh yeah, that thing. Mr. Saint did not take the cage to the workshop, he took it outside. There he killed Mr. Knight and threw his body down the well. What? Gosh, wasn't the well locked up? Mr. Canis' dog then dragged Mr. Knight's body here to his owner's cell from the bottom of the well. On that note, I would ask you to recall something. What was happening in the yard at the approximate time of the body's discovery? The circus show, right? Regina and Simeon were performing for everyone. Wait, Simeon. Ah! And so you see how it must also have been him who disposed of the body. Judge Cavell is truly a formidable opponent. She so effortlessly adjusted her theory to fit the facts. I propose that Mr. Knight was taken to the yard, not the workshop. And as we have established, Mr. Saint was off stage for 15 minutes. Ample time to throw the body down the well, I am sure you will.
Objection!
Your deduction is impressive, Your Honor. However, even supposing that Knight's body was indeed thrown down the well, we cannot conclusively say that it was during the show. It could have happened at a different time. My sympathies, Mr. Edgeworth, but it simply could not have. What? Mr. Carcerato was using the tunnel at around the time the show began. Carcerato, did you happen to trip over a corpse while you were down there? No, place was clean. If the body had been at the bottom of the well before the show began, Carcerato would have seen it. However, he saw no such thing. Which makes it somewhat difficult to support your theory. Furthermore, Mr. Knight's body was discovered in the workshop after the show. In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop. At some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Saint? You! What do we do now, Mr. Edgeworth? If the body did indeed enter the tunnel from the well, things don't look good for Mr. Saint. Still, your theory is still just that, a theory. And I poise that you lack the evidence to back it up. I concede that for the moment. I do not. May I suggest that we investigate the yard again? Very well. May the goddess of justice go with you. Oh my god, there's still more. Now then, to the yard. Perhaps you can finally put this case to rest. What's that sound? Yikes, is there a fire? Did somebody else escape? Should we maybe skip town too? Darlings, please, there's nothing to be alarmed about. By which I mean, that's not an alarm. It's the dinner bell. Although I suppose it's rather alarming if you aren't used to it. Certainly scared the heck out of me. I'm sorry, sweet pea. I hope you can forgive us. Alright, you two, back to your posts. Chop chop. And as for you, Rocco Carcerato, it's time you went back to your room. Yeah, fine. I get the picture. Come on, Teddy. We're out of here. Warden Lagarde, we'd like to take one more look around the yard now. Oh, darlings, don't you have homes of yours to own to go to? Visiting hours are over, I'm afraid. Tomorrow, No. It's imperative that we investigate it right away. I think we've had quite enough excitement for one day, don't you? Murderers, escapees. So eventful. It's time our guests went home to Betty Bice, isn't it? Come on now, darling. Don't make me bore you with all that. I am the warden. This is an order nonsense. Warden Lagarde is right. Her word is law here, and we must respect her wishes. Mr. Edgeworth, your investigation of the yard will have to wait until tomorrow. You may keep your badge for now. The matter of your standing can wait. I bid you all a good day. Judge Mommy. What are you waiting for, kiddykins? Off you go. Fine, at least there is a tomorrow for me. Judge Gavel believes that Knight's body was dropped down the well, and then taken through Mr. Carcerato's cell to the workshop. But is that truly the case? Do the facts really support her theory? She also seems to believe Mr. Saint had to be the one to move the body. But was he really the one with the opportunity to do so? Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Tomorrow's another day. We'll figure out a way to save Simeon. I know we will. Yes, we will. I'll prove that Mr. Saint is innocent, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Oh my god, there's more. Oh my god. Alright. It is getting late and I do have to end here. Crime scene recreation, which means that Little Thief would probably have to play a part in this one. So, I'll have to save. New scene. Alright, that would be it for the night. Everyone, thank you very much for joining in. I really do appreciate everyone. So yeah, Muz and Biju, thank you so much for the rates. I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So yeah, tomorrow I'll be back. We'll be playing Mario Maker. I'll replay a troll level that we did on the race last week, which I didn't finish. So we'll try to check out the rest of the trolls for that. And then there is a super world that I am interested in playing. So we'll check that out tomorrow. So yeah, again, if you're new here and you enjoyed the content, consider giving the channel a follow so that you'll get notified when I go live next time. And yes, please do not forget to check out the socials, YouTube, TikTok, and Blue Sky, and the Discord as well. So yeah, I'd really appreciate it. If you are on YouTube, hi YouTube, we are simulcasting there right now. Alright, so now we end and let us find someone to raid. Alright, who is on right now? Alright, I think I have an idea of who to raid. You're still going, right? You should still be going, right? Right? Yeah, you're still going. Alright, let's go raid Tweed. I haven't raided Tweed in a while. Thanks for the stream. Hey, no worries, Cobrin. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for sticking around. I really do appreciate it a lot. Alright, we're reading Tweed. Yep, and while that is happening, we go out and end. So yeah, again, everyone, thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow from Mario Maker. Have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.